and apologies also in advance if you see me quick disappearing, because I'm here on my own. Luckily, I haven't got 4 of them, I've got 3 of them. So yeah, so if I disappear, you know the reason why. Disappeared. All right. Okay. Start off as I always start off by saying thank you to the Ludamari, again, thank you to the Most High, the creator of all things, creatures great, and small. Trying to find himself. All creatures great and small. The earth that we stand upon, the air that we breathe, the sunshine that gives us life, the water that gives us life, and also give thanks to our Ori, which is our head, that gives us the intuition to move, to know what's right from wrong. So I start off by calling on the good ancestors. Do you want to say the other side? It keeps it disappearing. I start off by calling on our good ancestors. Our ancestors got taken away from the shores of our home many years ago and dotted around the world. The atrocities and the things that they actually went through is unbearable to think of, what they had to go through and what they saw and what they witnessed. Lives being taken, even some people taking their own lives because they didn't want to go through the atrocities, what they've already been through, and didn't want to go through even more. So there's, you know, a lot of our ancestors you would find in this are in the sea because they just jumped ship. But anyway, I give thanks for the tenacity. I give thanks for their courage. I give thanks for their strength and their willingness to survive and to carry on. Because if it wasn't for those ancestors who had that willingness to survive and that courage to carry on, we wouldn't be here today. So for those ancestors, I say thank you. And Ashe, I'll pour my water into
Ashe.
calabash. Ashe, thank you. I also give thanks to our leaders, our heroes, our sheroes, and our warriors. As you can see, mine is the Right Honourable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who's left us a black print for us to follow. I give thanks for all our leaders, heroes, and sheroes for the fact that they were, they're the ones who kicked down those doors. They're the ones who opened those pathways and roadways that we could actually follow. Let us know that we can rise up. We don't have to be subservient. We don't have to take what's given to us. We can strive forward. So, and we need, at the moment, we need to call on our ancestors, spirits of all of our ancestors, our leaders, our heroes, our sheroes, our warriors, because we're in a time that we need them right now. So we need to call on their spirits so that they can help guide us and give us that drive that they have. So for all our leaders, heroes, and sheroes, names we know, names we don't know, names that we may have forgotten, and there's names that we will never know, but they all played a part in helping us as a people to rise up and to strive forward. So for those leaders, heroes, sheroes, and warriors, I say thank you and Ashe.
Ashe.
I also say thank you to my lineage. I say thank you to your lineage. I say thank you to the good ancestors that's there with us from the time that we're born, right through to the time that we pass on to the ancestors. I give thanks to the fact that they're there with us all the time, even though sometimes we may feel that we're alone. Rest assured, we're not alone. They are there with us. They are there trying to guide us. We don't always hear or understand the signs, but they're also there for us to call on them for guidance and for help. So when you do call on them for guidance and for help, also call on them and say to them, can you make your answers be as clear as water so that you can understand, and make our minds be open to receive all those messages, because those messages are going to come in signs. It's going to come in something that unusual that happens around you. So let our minds be open to those signs and those messages that comes to us. So for our good ancestors that's there with us from the time that we're born, whose heads and shoulders who we all stand upon, I say thank you and ashe.
Ashe.
And I always take this opportunity to say thank you to my grandmother, Stephan Bailey, who I know is always with me. I've never met her, but I know that she's always there. So Stephan Bailey, I say thank you and ashe.
Ashe.
For my grandfather, Hubert Stair, who we called Mr. Stair, I give thanks to him, because if it wasn't for Mr. Stair, I wouldn't know who my family was. So for Hubert Stair, I say thank you and ashe.
Ashe.
And I also say thank you to my mother, Iona Pinnock, and my stepfather, Ivan Pinnock. For if they wasn't the people who they were, I wouldn't be the person who I am. So Iona and Ivan Pinnock, I say thank you and ashe.
Ashe.
And this is the time I also open up the floor for anybody who would like to say thank you to loved ones that's passed, or even people who they don't know, friends, somebody who they, from the past that they admired and like to say thank you for their life or thank you for their guidance. You can unmute yourself and say your thanks.
Well, I usually like to give thanks to my father, Luther Palmer, who brought me up as a single dad. Give thanks for his support, and for his parents, Emma Pearl Palmer and James Palmer,
Okay.
and my mother's parents, Mary Brown and
Ashe.
Thomas Brown. Give thanks.
Ashe.
I'd like to give thanks to all family members that's passed and all that I don't know that has passed, that has helped us to be where we are today.
Ashe.
Thanks. Ashe.
Ashe. Anybody else? Okay. All right. With that, I'd like to welcome everybody, those listening. Careful with him. Welcome those listening, watching on Facebook, and those listening on Black Culture Radio, and also passing this way, this way, this way, this way. On Black Culture Radio, just sorry, which is the Auntie Jean Zone.
Yes, Grandma.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful.
All those listening on Black Culture Radio, which is all the W's, blackcultureradio.com. You'll be listening on the Auntie Jean Zone. Hang on a minute. You're gone. That's it. All right. Totally thrown. Anyway. So I'd like to say thank you to all those listeners on the Auntie Jean Zone and Black Culture Radio, and all those who's watching on Facebook. And thank you all for joining us this evening. And this evening, we're going to be just a little bit out of the extraordinary, as this is going to be an introduction to our very own warrior, our young modern day warrior queen, Sasha Johnson, who is actually lying in a hospital bed. And we want to send out healing vibrations to her recovery, her full 100% recovery. And we're calling on all our good ancestors, our healing ancestors, and everybody else to put our minds together, our minds and our hearts together, and wrap her in a healing light, so that she can feel that the vibration coming from us, so that will help her to heal and come back to us 100%. And so this evening is about an introduction to Sasha, who, no. There's an introduction to Sasha, for those who didn't know her, or those who was actually hearing what they're saying in the news. We're letting you know the real Sasha Johnson. our young modern day hero. And I'm going to start. I know that Marvina is having problems coming in. I didn't see, did she manage to come in?
No.
Okay.
So.
All right. So right, first I will go to our brother Galactic Clyde. That's okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I know. That's fine. So we go to Galactic Clyde. So Galactic Clyde, could you please grace us and let us know the time or the period that we're actually living in and significance with everything, please. Galactic Clyde?
Yes, I'm here. That's an early one for me.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me just get my geared up here, my light on and everything, because I know people want to see mine.
Okay. So while you're doing that, you can introduce yourself, who you are, because I'm sure you'll be able to introduce yourself while you're setting your light and your thing up. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Galactic Clyde. Multitask in terms of studies, a bit of things that are very important to us, which is health, the science and mysticism, which is what some people would say astrology. People say, it's funny because when you say magic, you sound a bit off when you talk about magic, because magic's supposed to be something that children study or children listen to magical story. But when you get older, you shouldn't talk about it. So I would use the word, not magic, but I use the word the mysteries or mystical or mystery systems or mystical teachings of our ancestors, because a lot of our ancestors deal with things that are very much seems way off or way out, but it's important to talk the talk now, because time has lapsed and we're right back into the timeline where these things that we consider as hocus pocus without focus are going to be very important to us as we've based on the timeline we're in. So it's very important for us to start talking about the inner teaching as opposed to the outer teaching, because we've been on the outer teaching for a long time. And we need to get back to the inner teaching and understand the importance.
Galactic, Auntie Jean, you're muted.
I'm telling Galactic Clyde he's muted and I'm muted. Galactic Clyde, okay, thank you.
I'm not muted, I'm right here. Can you see
no,
me?
you was muted.
Yeah. I think that looks like me. Okay, should I go mute again?
Yes, please.
Okay, so
thank you.
It's very important for us to understand the timeline we're in 2021 in connection with 2012, because it's 2012 and 2021 is the same number vibration in terms of if you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2, which is 2012, you add it all together, you get the same number, you get the number 5. And if you add 2021 together like that, you still get a 5. So it's based on the 5 vibration, or the vibration of the number 2012 and 2021 is the same. Okay, we know when we talk about 2012 and 2021, we go back to the everybody was so amazed that all of a sudden we had a flood of information coming from Mesoamerica. And it's also like take the world by storm. We start hearing about the Zolkin system and the end of the world, or the end of time, or end of days, and people were confused. Where's all of this coming from? We didn't know these people had such information hold back. But there was a time when I think the person name was Montezuma, or the priest, or the chief, that realized that the time has changed. And he made a big speech in the parliament, or what would be known as the parliament. And what he advised everybody to start bury and hide all the data, all the big stone circles. They got stone circles and stone monument with a lot of different artifacts and very important, what they call it, codices and knowledge. And they said, bury, he said to them, bury all these data, bury everything, because times has changed. And you're going to need them for the time later on, the time, he said, the time of the sixth son. He said, bury all the stuff, just pass down the information from mouth to ear, from mother to daughter, from father to son. Don't say nothing to strangers. Yes, because they knew that time has changed. And so they had to bury all of the information that just started coming flooding out since round 91 and the great conversion that they had, ceremony that they had, and telling us that that time we were coming into a new timeline. When we talk about Mesoamerica, it's very important to talk about the foundation of Mesoamerica, which who are the Olmecs. The Olmecs were those people who are not familiar with Olmecs. I recommend they came before Columbus by Ivor van Sertiman, who talks about the Olmecs because they leave some massive stone heads in Mexico as a reminder to us in the future that yes, they were part of the process of what happened there. They were the foundation of the Mayan and the Aztecs and Zapotecs and the different people who came later after them. The word Mayan or the word Olmec means rubber people. But anyway, so they had the knowledge of the stars and the changes of the heavens that spend the sands of time, but they had to bury all of this information or hide a lot of their documents because I think somebody called them the what's the name we call them for those people that came into the place, is the conquerors? No, I think Sherry said it best. What you call them again, Sherry?
Colonizers.
The colonizers, that's the word. The colonizers were coming and they come and they as the famous the conquistadors, and they created such havoc. They killed millions and millions of people in connection to they want to bring Christianity. What they say, they bring in Christianity some outdated what they call it, teachings that they have concocted from the ancient people and change it around to suit their colonization or colonialism that was set up. Anyway, we've come to a timeline now where actually the teaching it says that just like every 11 years we have the changing of the sun cycle, where you have the sun have a masculine side and a feminine side. That cycle, which is they call the cycle that the sun goes through, which is called the sunspark cycle. We have a higher octave of that cycle, which they call the new sun or the sun of the black sun. So we just finished a major cycle of the sun, which is the Mayan calculate the cycle of time as 26,000 years into by divided 26,000 years by 5 years by 5 and call it so if you divide 26 by 5 you get a 520 5,200 years, and they call that that's a cycle of a different sun. Okay, the Aztecs also divide the cycle of 26,000 years into 4 cycles, which is 6,600 or something years, roughly, or over 6,000 years. And what happens, we have combined to the top of the cycle. The ancient Egyptians or African teaching is that way, which is on the Dendora zodiac. They got the rotation on the Dendora zodiac, which is 26,000 years. And there's document on the Dendora zodiac to say that we have traversed 26,000 years, I think 3.5 times, based on the knowledge on the Dendora zodiac. But now we have come full 26,000 year cycle where we that are now in this world are walking between 2 worlds, the old world of the 26,000 years and the new world of a new 26,000 year cycle. And that coincides with the birth or the rebirth of the sun, or the sun taking on a different polarity. Where the sun was considered masculine and projective, it's now becoming feminine and magnetic. And so where we were dealing with the outer appearance and the outer things and outer technology, we're moving into a time of the inner technology, because technology as we know it, the cars, the phones and all of that, those are based on our inner aspects of our life. These are all made from how what are happening within us. We externalize that knowledge. Now it's time to internalize. It's now to dream a new dream. It's now to live a new life, the life of the inner teaching. And so this is where the mysteries and the mystics and the magic and all of these things come to light. Yes. And it so happens that actually the marker date was from 2012 to 2021 between the two eclipse. I mean, sorry, is it 2012? No, 1991 to 2021. That's the marker between two eclipse. And what they said that was going to be the symbolic manifestation of the coming of the new energy, or the new the what they call the black sun. And so the sun is taking on a different energy altogether, which they say the black sun, but the black sun, which is the hidden sun, there's what they say, that the sun that we normally used to has changed frequency, and the change of frequency would happen between the 2021 and 2020, I'm sorry, 1991 and 2021. Okay, so we're right in that timeline. Interesting, what happened just this week is that in Zimbabwe there was a statue raised to their spirit medium. Okay, and on Sunday there's a sister that's going to be speak to us about that information, so I don't want to go into it too much. But near Buya Nihanda there was a statue. So just in time for when we're moving from a more masculine side of the sun to a feminine nature of the sun, here Zimbabwe has raised a statue to their spirit medium near Buhanda, which is also symbolic of the timeline we're in. Based on what's happening with Sister Sasha, we look at this is very symbolic, because the timeline as well, with what's happening or what is happening with Sister Sasha, it's the timeline coincide with also the change of the cycle. I don't want to go into it too much, but I would say in terms of Sasha, I never actually have a dialogue with Sasha, but I came across her information, seeing her online, and I tell you, what I picked up from her, I felt her energy to the phone. I'm watching a video from YouTube, and I felt an energy from her, and I said, this sister have a certain type of magic, a certain type of energy that is very rare. I don't know, maybe you all can talk about your experience, but my experience in seeing the sister, never met her. We spoke on the platform together. I think we've been on a Zoom meeting together, but we never really spoke. But when I came across, I was like, yeah, there's something magical about the sister. And I said, Auntie Jean, I need to get her number. I need to have a dialogue. I talk with her, because there's some power that I see in a lot of people in the sense. And based on what is happening, we can see that, yes, there's other forces that actually don't want her to thrive with the work that she's doing and to stand up. I didn't even realize that her age was I didn't realize that she was so young in that sense, and have so much what they call it, energy, a fearlessness about her, but a certain type of, I would say, magic, because that's the way to say it, is magic, like Magic Johnson. Because when you say magic, sometimes people think you're talking hocus pocus, you know? So I was just thinking about, we're talking about the real energy that says there's a force here that is guiding this person, and it's a force that is very of the nature of the higher order, of more positive spirit or higher spirit or higher energy, not the low entities of the selfishness that we see in some people. So it's amazing. So you can Google about the birth of the sixth son or the sixth son, and you'd see a lot of information coming forth, as now the information that was hidden in the Mesoamerica and around the world by different ancient people or the ancient people who have been keeping their information secret, just like Africans went into quiet mode because they have a lot of secrets and a lot of mysteries, and they don't write about it, they don't talk about it openly because they understand the nature of the colonizer and the colonization, colonialism as it is. And so, but because we're shifting now, a lot of things gonna come to the fore. So we're dreaming a new dream. Any question? I don't know how much time I got. So, Auntie Jean, Cheryl,
Why are you calling my name?
because I know you're right there.
Oh,
And I
okay.
know,
Yeah.
I
Has
know you're
anybody got any
coordinating.
questions?
I'm not sorry. How do you know I'm not busy?
I know you're busy. You're busy helping us
Exactly.
out.
Exactly. I'm always busy. All right.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Has
How
anybody
much
got any
time I got, Auntie
questions?
Jean? Because yes.
Anybody got any questions? No questions?
Let me continue. If anybody got a question, put their hands up or just unmute, and then you can ask your question. The other day we went down at the hospital in the park, which is next to the hospital, for ceremony because which is what was the 25th, because that was the day of the, no, that's the 26th. That was the day of the eclipse, and so a couple of us, the drummers, we all went and have a nice ceremony. It was filmed. It's not something that I like to happen, but it was filmed. I was okay with it because it's so important now that we pass things down the generation, so our young people and people of our age group we may see the importance of ceremony, because ceremony is where you partition the ancestors, the spirit force, the energies of the creators or entities that working on behalf of the creator for things that you would like to see happen. And so when we talk about ceremony, that's what we're talking about. You know, we go to the government with our placard, we go to the government with our different petition. You can do the same thing with their ancestors, because you get better remedies with your ancestors than you get from some of these you know, some of these people who pretend to be your public servants. Yes. So yes, you can always petition the ancestors, you know. And so that's what we did the other night. And every night or every evening, starting from 5 o'clock until the park closed, there are different ceremony or different tributes or different things going to be happening in that park in connection to the sending love and light and healing, the Uncle Josh, Sineb, the life, strength and health towards our sister Sasha. Yes. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Galactic. Auntie
Yes,
Jean?
you're welcome.
Oh, she's disappeared. Marvin, has anybody got any oh, she's back.
Okay, sorry.
She's back in the room.
Just before we bring on Marvina, I'm just
Yeah.
going to play a quick clip from Tubada, who's just put this out today. I was going to play it earlier on, but I think it'll be a nice kind of introduction before we bring on Marvina. Okay.
Bada. Hey yo, Sister Sasha, wake up quick for us now. We're waiting for you. Listen, this senseless violence gotta stop. One of our leaders have been shot. I don't know if you know Sasha or not. I don't know if you knew that she was with the Panthers or not. I don't know if you knew that me and her fought side by side, dog. Who you think set the Million March up in Hyde Park when I was doing food banks, delivering food, fam? I beg somebody check back the route of that food done. Yeah, it came from Sasha. She set up the cash apps. She went and bought the food. She done the bags up. The Panthers and the Badder Trust was in collaboration, just to do our tiny bit to try and feed the nation. There was nothing like her, and there was nothing like me. And I knew Charles from TTIP, but then she knew Janie from BBC. The day we recorded One Voice, Let's All Meet. Cookie, she was there. Teasy, she was there. The little bald dude from Link Up, he was there. I tell you, Don, the vibe that we put in the air, we knew that we formed a team right there. I ain't gonna lie, Don, this one cut deep. I ain't gonna lie though, it ain't just me. She's getting bare love out there, all sides. That's why they're praying in the park every night till she's right. Now listen close to what I'm about to say. I'm from a place where we retaliate, but violence on violence won't solve a damn thing. We don't want our sons growing on some gangbang thing. We want our sons growing up on some change the planet thing. And when mommy wake up, we feel sorry for them king car. She gon' flip the script, there ain't no thing. Sasha, we just need you to wake up quick. Listen, so where do we go from here? Some say they want blood, some say don't go there. When I hugged Auntie Jean the other day in the park, I knew I had to let go of the part that was dark. I want to tell the whole world about them. Instead, let's set up committees, spokesmen in every single city. Gun amnesty, hand them to me, B. All the elders, we need to clean our own streets. Remember when I said in one voice that the youths need options? So we need to make that happen? I will add to that. I won't let them slow the banks. Let's first clean these bad apples. Again, remember when I said in one voice that the youths need options and we need to make that happen? First, we need to clean these bad apples. Oh yeah. Bada. Hey, yo, Sasha, just hurry up and jump out of the thing and look a boy in his eye and say I'm back. You know, like what you do. Just do that fast, quick, please. Family, we got you. We always had you, 100%. Bada said that. Sasha, hurry up and wake up quick. Bada, out.
Thank you too, Bada, for that. And yeah, we wanted to heal and wake up, heal to 100%. Sister Marvina, would you like to introduce yourself and just say the screen is now yours and let us know the real Sasha Johnson.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Sincere apologies for the delay today. Technology was working against me, but everything works in the perfect timing, so I'm blessed regardless. Today, as part of galvanizing the youth, it felt fitting to pay homage to one of our own sister, Sasha. And I got introduced to the Garvey village actually through Sister Sasha. And I don't know if Auntie Jean can remember that conversation.
Yeah, I can.
And it's just funny just trying to talk about the story. And if you know Sasha, Sasha is the connector. She's just the connector. There's nothing you're going to ask for that Sasha would not be able to find a way to connect you with. So I remember I did an action with a couple of my allies where we got some people to climb Big Ben and drop a big letter to the Queen. And I was like, Sasha, you know what? I'm about to do this. Well, please, yeah, I need to let some elders know that I'm doing this because I need to get some help. And she was like, you need to call the Garvey village. Don't do anything without calling the Garvey village. And you also need to call the African market. But it's the same network. And it's the excitement she had in her voice. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to just do it for you right now. Just like that, she dragged all of you into a call because that's what she does. She doesn't mess about. And straight away, I was like, getting to speak to Auntie Jean. I got told off for certain things I did. And I said, okay, I'm sorry. And straight away, I came into this space and I found family. And I found home. That's a gift that Sasha gave me. And let me tell you, it's a rare gift. When you can find a space where you can come and learn, where you can come and contribute and pay it forward, but also be able to sit with your elders. Sasha got to do that. So let me tell you about my little sis, from my point of view, from my lens. I remember speaking to Sasha just in June, and I was just thinking, who is this queen? Her energy was just out of this world. We were all protesting back then, you know, fighting for our rights to be heard. But this young girl just had this different kind of energy. And I looked at her and I was like, wow, that fire is just burning bright. Okay, I'm going to just stick around. I didn't know what to take when I saw Sasha. There was that knowledge when she opens her mouth that just makes you just realize that wisdom is there. But there's that innocence that comes into a lot of things she does, that you realize, I want to take care of her. I want to protect her. I want to be there for her. What I love about Sasha and what's so amazing about this queen is, if she sees any inequality, any whatsoever, any, she's there to tackle it. Whether it's the auntie down the street who is sick, whether that is the guy who doesn't have his bus pass, anything. Sasha is always there for everyone. And I saw that. And sometimes when you've got a good heart, people take advantage. But even if you take advantage of Sasha and you say sorry, the door is open again. And she will just forgive and forget and continue to give. I remember the fact that we were talking about being moms, and motherhood was her biggest achievement. Oh my gosh, when she talks about her boys, first of all, she has the most handsomest boys on this earth. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful inside and out. And I only got to know Sasha last year, but time doesn't really say that much when you meet someone that you're so kind of hacking to. I've only been in Garvey village less than 8 months, but this is home and I'm not going nowhere. So time is irrelevant when ancestors are speaking and guiding you and aligning you to your purpose. And I think that's what it was with Sasha. I found myself wanting to be that big sister, that protector. I know my aunties in this space would know that when it's time to pray or anything, I'm worried about Sasha, whether it's anything. I'm like, aunties, what do we do? What do we do? Because we need to protect my sister. And I remember when NSARS happened, we did the Million People's March, and it was beautiful with Subada. And then NSARS happened, where Nigeria and the police brutality. I remember Sasha was one of the first people that said, Marvina, what do you want to do? And it was so refreshing because I'm so used to doing a lot of things and leading a lot of things. And I don't get a lot of people saying, how can I help you? That's Sasha. The person that would just sit there and be like, what do I do to help? For us who are givers of light, who are healers in different ways, who are lovers of everybody, sometimes what we realize is that when you're giving all this love, you don't get it back. In fact, when you're giving love out, sometimes people question why you're giving it out. And that's something really beautiful about Sasha. You don't never need to question it. Sasha is an amazing cook. Why? That girl cook up a storm and she is amazing at it. I remember me and her would sit there. She'll be on the phone and we'll go to, there's a Facebook page where they've got all the Jamaican cooks, and we just watch, we'll sit there and just be flicking through different recipes. She'll be like, oh, I can cook that one. I'm like, okay, but maybe I will substitute that with some dumplings. No, maybe yam. And then she would take a picture just to show me she's done it the next day. Or it might be a whole week later. And I'll be like, you're being evil because you know I can't come and eat it. Mm-hmm. And me and her protest together for Nigeria. Whenever Sasha is a rebel because she fights for our voice. And being a rebel means the system sometimes wants to work against you. Auntie, Danny, is that Danny? Oh, Danny. Oh, sorry, this is Sasha's family. This is family right there. I'm just talking about our sis, you know. We're telling her to wake up, Sasha, because she's taking too long sometimes. You guys just jump on. Say hi to everyone.
I was going to say, like how they're there in the car, let them come in.
Hi,
and
guys.
Hi.
Hi guys, we're just talking about the beautiful Sasha and how funny, how stubborn, how she loves to cook up, mash up, and then stay there just watching, going on Facebook, looking at other people's recipes and saying how she's gonna make it and send you picture when she cook it. That kind of Sasha. Correct, Danny? Okay. I'm gonna invite Danny because Danny actually went to school with Sasha.
Sorry.
There you go. You're gonna need to move the camera so I can see.
Oh, I don't want to be that close.
Yeah.
You can see. I can.
Yeah. Cool.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Queen.
Hi.
Hi. All right.
We're just on our way from. We've just got into London.
Okay. What we're doing today is I want people to meet the Sasha, not the activist. You know?
Yeah.
Let them know exactly how amazing she is. And like, okay, let's do 3 things you love about Sasha that actually, you know, makes her extraordinary.
She's funny. She's always trying to bring people up. And I love her food.
Andy, your turn.
She always feeds me a lot, whether I want it or not.
Yeah.
She's got no filter, so she'll tell you what is on her mind. And I just love her, the way she is so passionate about what she does, her work.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me let people know who you guys are. So first of all, this is Andy.
Is it her dad? I've had that a few times.
I beg you. No, Andy is a friend of Sasha, a brother to Sasha. Like, Andy has been there to support her in various ways, mostly since she moved to London, like just after Million People's March. Andy has been supporting and constantly there. You've got Danny. Danny actually went to school with Sasha. That's Sasha's best friend.
Yeah.
So that's the
I
one.
live with her.
You've lived with her. You take care of the kids. The only reason you can see Sasha running about doing all this protest is because of that one. So, and she lived in Oxford, but she would travel into London just to support Sasha anytime Sasha wants. And that's who these. And there's someone in the background. I can't see them.
That's Kerry.
Who's that?
Hi.
Kerry's another good
You
friend.
met her?
You met her?
Kerry. Oh my days. I was talking to you the other day, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is a family there. So the reason that these guys have come on is because this is who Sasha's closest people are. And I know during this whole period, there are loads of people claiming things to know her. And I understand that that's to be close to the essence of her glory. So when you've been blessed to be in her presence, there is something euphoric about Sasha. It's literally it drags you in, and except your bad mind, except you've got evil eye, it will blind you. I'm not gonna lie. You wouldn't know how to take her because she has a spiritual draw that would literally show you who she is. Thank you. I think they safe travels to London. You guys will be safe. We'll be bumping heads tomorrow anyway, so I can't wait to see all of you. Leaving Leeds to come to see you all tomorrow, so that'll be nice.
Oh, you're coming back, yay.
Yeah, so I'm coming there. But okay.
I was going to say, let Andy say the Sasha that he knows.
Andy, go ahead.
I don't know where to begin. Last night we were talking about it a little bit. She, how can I explain her? She is, yeah, she's one of a kind, and
Have a dictionary now.
very, very determined. I had to sometimes, like, 'cause I'm a stickler for time. Sasha turns up in her own time. So what I'd always have to do is I'd have to lie about where we had to be at what time. So if I wanted her to be somewhere at a particular time, I would tell her that the time was 2 hours earlier.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, you know what? I was telling some guys a story yesterday. One day she was staying in a hotel. Well, yeah, she stayed in a few over the Christmas period. And we came out, because one of the things that's happened is a lot of people have tried to paint her out as this racist, and there was this nonsense going around about wanting to enslave white men or something. I don't know where that came from. But the reason I'm thinking about this particular example is because this guy came up to us, homeless, and I'll be honest, I wasn't tempted to put my hand in my pocket because, yeah, I'm working hard out here. And Sasha just went to the cash point, bought this guy breakfast, bought me breakfast, and gave him money. And I don't think he could believe it. And I know I couldn't, but that is one of, you know, a dozen times I've seen her do that. She does it all the time. She doesn't look at skin.
My first car, I couldn't afford one, and she was like, "Come on, girl, you're getting on the road." She was like, "Let's go buy your car."
Did you hear that?
She just gave me the money to buy the car. I was like, "What?"
She gave Kerry the money to buy her first car.
She wanted to see me do good.
You know, so yeah. Last night I went mostly to feel like I was. It's really mad because you know what? Although I know where she is at this moment in time, I keep going to places that we spent time together to feel like I'm close to her at this time. So last night I went to Northwest London to do the radio show that she used to do on a weekly basis. She used to go up there, drag me up there with her from, I think it was from 9 till midnight, but now they're doing more social hours. They're doing from 6 till 9. So I went up there last night just to feel, you know, sat in the chair that she would normally sit in. Spoke to the guy that she co-hosted with, and yeah, you know, that's the Sasha. She spreads herself thin because she's trying to do good in you know, in all the lives of the people that she meets. And I don't think I've ever, you know, I'm pretty sure I've never met an individual like her. I'm pretty sure of that.
You never do, because she's exceptional. She's extraordinary.
Yeah.
And I know people think we're just saying it, but it's not. Like,
There's many stories you can tell to back it up.
You know, and so obviously we're willing her to just get better, to wake up and come back and do what she does. I mean, the other day I came back from Oxford. That was the loneliest drive I've had for a long time, because she'd always be there. We'd take turns driving, but more often than not, I would drive. But then the other day I had to come back, and I came back alone, you know. But yeah, it's mad. You know, I'm still processing. I'm trying to push it to the back of my mind, but obviously, you know, you can't. It's just there.
do you want to talk about the food bank stuff she did in Oxford? Because obviously with the restaurant, she's a business owner of a successful restaurant back there. She owns
a cleaning business.
And she owns a cleaning business, yeah. And what else? She also graduated from Oxford University. Like no one wants to talk about that sometimes, and I feel like, why not?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I spoke about that last night. Someone was asking me, the guy that she was presenting with was asking me, you know, what did she do? And I said, I'm sure it's psychology. What's psychology, right?
I think so.
Yeah, social care.
Health and social and youth work.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I wasn't involved in the food bank in Oxford. Danny might know a bit more about that.
Yeah, so every Wednesday is still running, but she's got other people to do that down there, like the councillors.
But every Wednesday, obviously, when she was down there, she would be handing out, sorting all the food out. Probably about 200 people every Wednesday, they would go round and deliver bags of food to. So, but
Wow.
obviously it's still going. So, and she's still obviously in charge of that as well.
And the funny thing is that even though she's doing that in Oxford, she's doing that in Nigeria too.
Yeah.
She's doing this
She
girl.
does everything.
There's no limits to Sasha Johnson. No limits.
No limits to her at all.
No limits. And I remember during the day we were praying, I was like, stand like Sasha Johnson, speak like Sasha. And people just thought, oh, it's gimmick. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to channel something into you right now.
She still is very much human though, and gets nervous just like the rest of us.
To be honest with you, her anxiety is actually cute.
Yeah.
When she's really anxious, everybody doesn't know that before protest, before events, before speaking, she gets into that little giddy, and people just think she's fearless. Like, and it's so cute when you see her be human. And we get to see the human nature of her all the time. So, Danny, I'm gonna ask you, tell me about Sasha as a mother.
She's a very strong mum, and them boys love her more than anything. She just wants to do anything they need, she gets. All of this is for them. Everything she does is for them. She wants a better world for them and everybody else's kids. I don't know what more I could say, but she's the best.
Tell me something cool and silly she would do with her kids.
Children.
Our children. Our children. I keep forgetting this. And
we had a water slide party at my house for one of the boys' birthdays, and she
loves
me,
to go
like, day of the party, Kerry, come on, we've got loads of slip and slides. We had one big long like shooting, then a big slide that went down to water, then swimming pools. The trampoline was covered in bubbles.
And Cav's birthday.
And it was just like crazy.
For Cav's
food, like she would pull off things that you wouldn't ever think of. Like you'd think, oh no, that's not possible. But Sasha would make it happen, and it's like, how? How did you do that?
For Cav's 10th birthday, we had a big massive hall, and she rented a ball, a candy floss. Well, there was loads of stuff there. Nerf gun war fighting for the kids.
Ride.
Everything. It was crazy.
Massive donut war.
We made the donut wars. We had to go to this wood shop, right? And she had me in there for hours. I had so many blisters because we had to make this donut wall, and she wanted it the size of God knows what, and it wasn't going to happen. So we had to make like a reasonable one. But she wasn't having it. She wanted the big, massive donut wall. And I'm like, girl, we're just going to get some normal donuts. She's like, no, Krispy Kreme's for the best, like my kids. Like, I was like, no, we get the other ones. But she always just goes up and up, like beyond anything she could do.
Buy like one Kinder Egg for each kid. She bought the whole stand.
Yeah, she would.
And I think this is what's beautiful about Sasha. The more you talk about her, the more you just, well, I know she would do anything for our boys. I know people are asking her questions about how the boys are coping. I think in this session here, we're not going to do that much. We know that they're going to be coping that well, but we're not going to go into it because we're going to keep it quite. Our family has requested for things to be private when it comes to those kind of details. So what we are doing is getting you to meet our Sasha, and we're sharing this experience with you. And we will keep that way. Thank you so much for understanding that. But now I'm gonna go to Kerry and say, as a friend, what kind of friend is Sasha? And be real. Not all, because you know, if you watch this video when she wakes up and she sees you guys here trying to pretend and do any kind of rubbish, you'll be like, what's all this?
Let me just say one thing. If you're fucking up, she will tell you.
She will make you correct.
She will make you put it right.
She's just one of them friends that you could call her at 2 a.m. and she's there in 10 minutes. Or as soon as she can get there, she's there. One day I was having an absolute mental breakdown. I hadn't took my medication for my emotion. And I just felt like the whole world was falling apart. Next minute, Sasha knocks my door, gives me the biggest hug, threw £40 at me, and it's like, just get something to eat, chill out, I'll be back later. I once had an abusive boyfriend, he smashed up my house. She came round, told me sit down, cleaned everything up. She just always comes in like the fairy godmother and cleans everything up and makes it all pretty again. And
she does.
I don't know, she'll just pick you up, come on, we're going to a party, you don't need to sit here crying. She's always got something she's like Mary Poppins at the bag. Always something that she's got up her sleeve.
Chuck your peanut punch.
Yeah, just anything. She just knows everything that will make it better.
And I think this is the part that people don't understand. People try to make Sasha into stuff that isn't what she was. They try to paint pictures to show that she hated a certain group of people. And when you know Sasha, you just literally laugh. Because
yeah, for real.
Sasha took this white girl that couldn't cook rice and showed me a few things. She showed me how to cook because my mom didn't.
And that's the diversity of Sasha. If you say you know her, then we all are still getting to know her. You know what I mean? People that know her knows that every day.
There's so much to know.
So anyone that tells you that I know Sasha, they're lying, because we're still figuring it out on a daily basis. And but one good thing I could tell you about friendship with Sasha would be, Sasha called me from London, because one of her friends in Leeds, Hannah, was sick. And a friend had COVID, but they knew that they were isolating during lockdown. And she was like, Marvina, can you help me help my friend who doesn't know me, but you live in Leeds? Can you help me go and drop food and medicine for her? That's Sasha.
Yeah. There's no limit, like I said.
She called me to do that. I was like, wow. And I was like to Hannah, like, yeah, do you want jollof rice?
I'm still trying to work out how I let her con me into going to, what's the market, the fish market?
Oh, bloody picking up fish at 5
in the morning.
I've done that with that also, and it's dog, and I don't like fish.
But the thing is, we had to go and have a cat nap, and then she rang me to wake me up at like 2 in the morning, and then we drove over to, is it not Spitalfields?
Yeah,
Billingsgate. Yeah, we drove to Billingsgate. I was just like, wow, and I'm just standing there half asleep.
Yeah, I think we've all done that.
I think everyone's been on that trip, actually. My little sister.
Sasha has
There was one point before all of this. She used to sell clothes. What else does she do?
Yeah, we used to stand up on the street selling it.
She used to go to the market and buy clothes and print off different designs and do all of that. She's always been on her grind, always. Always.
But this is what I want to say.
She'll do anything.
She can sell ice and Eskimo, literally. The power of the
for real.
comes with Sasha. Like, I have not met, I think I am a professional at sometimes the things I do, but that girl's negotiation skill, bar none. Literally, she can get she can be talking to you and you won't know when she convinces you to change your whole ideology and follow what she tells you to do.
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about Sasha in future tense now. What's the first thing you would go and do with Sasha when she's up, revitalized, rejuvenated? So now we need to manifest this, right?
Sasha party!
She's going to take me to Jamaica. Going this year.
She's been trying to drag me there for years now. I'm too scared.
So we're going to be going on holiday.
Yeah, we said that at the end of the year, didn't we?
Yeah, end of the year. But
Obviously,
obviously, when it happens.
Well, I think I would love to take Sasha to Afro Nation, Ghana, and literally. Well,
Yeah,
you
she
said
does
you
really
want to
want
go
to
to
go.
Jamaica. I told you where I'm taking her. Why are you adding yourself to my
We're
holiday?
coming.
We're all going. We're all going. But we're going Afro Nation. Don't worry, she's gonna be VIP because that's the only way she likes.
Yeah.
She's not gonna want any side trimmings or anything. Has to be the penthouse. You know
Yeah,
that.
for real.
You guys don't understand, Sasha. You know she needs to make sure we get picked up on the airport in some.
Yeah.
Literally. Hair looking great, nails all done, really girled
Yeah.
up. She doesn't get the time sometimes, but when she does, we're gonna make sure she gets it. She's gonna be looking fly as hell, and
You could wear a bin bag and look good anyway.
she always does. And then what we would all do is we would just get to enjoy the motherland together and be able to go and see and learn. She loves learning about history. So
Yeah.
it's the way she's gonna want to learn about the slave, she would want to go to those spots to kind of get that historical fact. And before you know it, she'll probably set it up for charity there, knowing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our Sasha. Now, is there anything else you guys want to add? Because I know I really appreciate that you guys came to it, because I was like, I want to talk about how amazing, and I want the world to meet Sasha, not the activist, but Sasha, the person. And I did tell you, Danny, that we were going to do it, but I know, Danny, I moved really quick when I said I'm going to, for Auntie Jean, Auntie Chairs, Auntie Patricia made this happen. So it's part of what we call galvanizing the youth. And Sasha does a lot in the community, and I only know these amazing people because of Sasha. So what better way to know that we can pay tribute to her?
Yeah.
For meet her. So what would you like people to know before what information would you like them to know, and what would you do? Andy, what's the first thing you will do with Sasha when she comes out?
Apart from the trip, I think one of the things she loves some of these hotels that she stayed in. There's a spa one in central London, so I'd probably just put her in a spa for a week or something, just for her to chill and swim and relax. So yeah, that's what I'd love to do.
Sweet.
I'm just making a quick pit stop, so I'm gonna have to jump off.
But thank you for coming. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you. I see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow, darling. See you tomorrow.
Thank you all. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Danny.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Oh.
Blessings. Oh, my days. They made my day. Brilliant. Do you know what? I manifested them to come, I actually just sent them the link and said, I didn't know 3 of them were going to be in the same place at the same time.
That is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I see we got 2 brothers in the house.
Is he?
Yes.
Bro. So, do you know what? I actually know Sasha because of Tubada. Literally. Can you see the circle of influence? I met Tubada first, and then is he in? I can't see your face, bro.
He's with the Butter Trust, under the Butter Trust.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. There you
Hey,
go. See you there.
Tubada. I'm in
Hey.
Tubada as well. I'm here.
How you doing, sisters?
Bless.
That's good. That's good. We're good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So I see you. You're busy as well.
No, I know you've been to the vigil tonight already, haven't you?
No, not today. I didn't get down there today.
No, but you've been there every day, so we appreciate you for that, because that's, I wanted to say, tell me the fun parts of Sasha. How did you meet Sasha Johnson? The phenomenal, fire lioness she is.
Yeah, that's actually a funny story. So I got this DM message one day, and the DM message was, "Hi, my name is Sasha Johnson, Oxford's Black Panther. Hi, King, how are you doing?" I was like, whoa, 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 hold on, who's this? And she just sounded so like confident, and the Black Panther, you could just tell. So I looked her up online, saw her Instagram page, we added, and then what it was, she was about to organize the Million People March. So she had started the process of it, and then that turned into me coming on board with her. So through Sasha, I met Ken and Spencer and everyone else involved in the organizing of that march. And then remember, Marvina, when I spoke to you that time and I said, "No, you have to meet this woman, Sasha Johnson." Da, 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 da. You know, like, remember, I was excited, like, nope, you need to know what's going on down here.
Yeah, you need to meet the sister, you know, like Marvina, she sounds like you, yeah, but she's just young. Like, literally, you need to... Yeah, you say you just need to go and help her because, like, literally, you two would get on. And that was it.
Yeah.
It just happened. And you did that.
It was a madness. It was a madness. When I think back now to the steps, and then from there, we went on multiple marches together, and me and her stood side by side and fighting for everybody's rights. I've never seen a woman with so much passion and drive. I see her travel all up and down the country. Go to Liverpool. Where's Janie? Is Janie still
I'm
in?
here. I'm here.
Janie! Oh my days!
I'm here.
Janie,
Yeah, I'd like to say how I met her as well.
Yeah, definitely, Janie. You're coming on, definitely.
Yeah. What it was, you know, I'm a documentary maker, and I've been in the industry for years. And somebody came to me. It was a colleague, Charlie, came to me with some footage of the riots. You know, when the protests started, and he said, "Oh yeah, you know, let's make a documentary. We can make a documentary." So he came to me and he showed me, and I was like, "Well, you know, what's that? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing really there." So I carried on watching the footage, and then I saw Sasha. I said, "Who's that?" And they said, "I don't know." I said, "If we're going to make a film, that's who I want. I want her. Find her. So Ken and Charlie went out and found her, and that was the first day of my filming with her was Tommy Robinson's house.
See, that's crazy, because then they went out and found her, then she found me.
Yeah.
Marvina found me. I linked Marvina and Sasha. Don't you remember the One Voice video shoot day? So I was recording One Voice. So I invited down Sasha, who's coming with Janie.
Yeah.
But then the studio was Charles from TTIP was there, because me and him was working on One Voice.
And the funny thing is that I was meant to be there, you know. Every time I'm meant to be somewhere, I never like end up being there at the end of the day.
I made the link with Sasha and TTIP on that day that was in my freestyle today. So the links are just crazy. And the fact that we found that common place and we just gelled from them, because plenty of people come and gone since then.
Yeah, they have. We went down to and it slowly, the interesting thing about Sasha, you know, usually when you're, you know, a filmmaker, you sort of distant from the actual contributor, the actual talent. But with Sasha, we sort of got on, and we became really close and good friends. You know,
brought you in though. That's the thing about her, Jenny. Like, she brought you in.
And I found out that, you know, you saw that she was just, I mean, that's why I'm going to carry on the film, because it shows who Sasha really is. And that's what people know. There's a lot of negative stuff about Sasha, like the Twitter thing, for instance. It was me and her were on the phone when she started the Twitter account. When all that stuff came out about her saying, "Make white men our slaves," she didn't even have a Twitter account. Do you know what I mean? We were
I
on the
remember
phone
that.
together as she opened the Twitter, and people don't. I mean, she's a real fun-loving girl. You know, when we was first at a restaurant in Oxford, she was dancing on her head. You know, she just really enjoys herself and loves life.
She was dancing on her head, you know.
Yeah,
Enjoys
because we went.
herself and loves life. She's
In
a
fact,
beautiful.
Jamie, the day after One Voice recording at a studio in Brixton, so we was all together that day. The next day, we went up to Oxford to her restaurant.
Yes,
So
that was it.
Jamie, Charlie, we had dinner there. She cooked for us all, so we got to see her in her surroundings as well,
Yeah, we had a
outside of
beautiful
the
time. That
activism.
was one of my brilliant memories. That was.
Yeah, definitely. So
Everyone
yeah, we got to
talking about her
see
cooking,
different
by the way. I
sides.
just want to let you know you're the sixth person talking about Sasha's cooking, and I have not had the pleasure yet of
Pepper
enjoying.
prawns. She always makes me pepper prawns. You know,
mean pepper prawns?
Pepper prawns are the best.
Pepper prawns, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hot,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
hot like I like it, but you know, she makes it brilliant. Yeah.
No,
You know,
definitely.
and, you know, she's just. I mean, you know, you see Sasha. I mean, a lot of people misconstrue who she is. You know, she's a very strong. She has an answer for everything. I mean, if she was to make a statement, she stands by it and she can explain why she's made that statement. You know, so you know where people are saying, "Oh, she's backed off from saying white men are slaves." I mean, I actually got involved in the Twitter war. You know, which is unusual for a filmmaker who's following someone. But you know, the fact is, I captured the real Sasha. Do you know what I mean? The real Sasha, who Sasha really is. You know, apart from this activist, you know, she's a mother, she's a friend, you know, and she's a companion to many people. She's, you know, she really cares about the people around her. And that's why so many people are drawn to her. You know, we look at this girl, a 27-year-old girl that split opinions about her, but everybody's talking about her. You know, I was with her when she well, I've been filming the Black Panthers for 4 years. So I was at her home in Oxford one night and we decided to get on to Black Power Radio. And she called in. You know, I encouraged her to call in. She had her bonnet on and everything. I didn't have a camera out, so, you know, I had my mobile phone out. And she spoke to some of the people at the Black Power Radio, the Panthers, and they loved her. Immediately, they loved her. I mean, I spoke to Hashim Nzinga, who was the leader of the Black Panthers, rest in peace, because he died some months ago. And I said, look, Hashim, there's this girl, you've got to, she definitely can be a leader in the UK. She definitely can be a leader. He says, Janie, we've been here before. I said, no, but this is different. This really is different. This is different. You know, and he said, okay. And then he heard her. And, you know, before he died, he you know, gave her blessing that you are the leader of the Black Panthers in the UK. And that was, and I know she holds that role dearly. And hopefully, I was meant to be in Tulsa this weekend, but they turned me away at the airport. Biden has made it very hard for anybody to travel.
Yep.
While the militia are out there, thousands of them are going to be out there. I'm hoping, I've asked and requested for them to give a big Black Power salute and on camera. So once they do that, that would be something that she, you know, showing that to her, she would love that. Do you know what I mean? The whole of the Black, you know, the Black militia community saying, you know, willing her on and giving her that big Black Power salute. Yeah.
Can I cut in there? Can you explain a little bit about Tulsa, because a lot of people don't understand that connection that you're
Tulsa,
making, please?
Yeah, Tulsa is in Tulsa there was in just before, when 1921 it ended, but in Tulsa it was 60 years of slavery. Jim Crow segregation was still going on, but Black people managed to develop an amazing community. It was there was probably about, I think that there might have been about 10,000 people, and they had their own banks, they had their own schools, they had their own everything, stores, everything. You didn't need to go out to do anything. Even the people that worked out reinvested their money within in the community. It was thriving. They were middle class. They were successful. They lived. They were happy. But what happened was a young shoeshine boy was in a lift of elevator of one of the buildings out there, and a white girl said that he tried to rape her, basically. And the long and short of it is, he didn't. It was admitted later, but they literally burnt the place and bombed it to the ground. And these successful people who were running their own, all black, running their own community, resulted in living in tents. And a community like that has never happened again.
Yeah, they call it the Black Wall Street, but you said something was happening this weekend or something.
Oh,
Can you
this
explain
weekend
that? Yes.
is, yeah, sorry, this weekend it's the 100th anniversary of Black Wall Street. So there's big celebrations going on, and the Second Amendment, they're doing a Second Amendment march with their guns, and so all the Black Power movement with guns are going to be marching down Black Wall Street this weekend. It was meant to be a bigger thing, like on the 31st, John Legend, Stacey Abrams was meant to be there, but they've cancelled that because there's a lot of fear about white supremacists coming in and, you know, disrupting it. But they're marching on. They're marching on. So even though I can't get out there, I've got a cameraman that is going to shoot for me out there. So that's what's happening. Yeah, it's a big, it's probably going to be the biggest Second Amendment march since the 60s. People are coming all the way from California to and because they've got guns, they've driven, you know, from, that's like 3 days, or, you know.
Do you know if Sasha had plans to go to that event, or know about the event?
No, she wanted to. She would have liked to, because I did say to her that it would be good if we both could go out there. But there's certain issues that may have prevented that.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
I was one of those people that I feel like I was a big bad sister sometimes, who would say you can't do something at a certain time, and you need to stay still. And Jenny and Bada, you know, she needed to stay still for a bit, and maybe I was a little bit overprotective.
Yeah.
It was because it was needed. It was needed. I think that's why I turned my camera off, because there's that feeling like we all try to protect Sasha.
Definitely.
We all.
Definitely.
And I know, yes, she would have loved to be there, but again, there were different. It was a time for her to stay still. She was doing so much. And the community, even though now we always say things about her beautifully, but the community came for her. The community, I'll let Bada talk about that actually, because with all the love being poured now, we know how hard it was. With all the good she was doing, people still had their hands out and still insulting and saying negative things. And some of those people now, we're seeing them coming out and lying and saying that they know Sasha and they're rooting for Sasha and they're doing. So I'm going to say this live. There are some people that are claiming they know Sasha. You see the people that come here today, they're the ones that know who Sasha is. When other people are claiming and wanting to move certain kind of way and do things in her name, those people did not know Sasha like that. And Jenny and Bada, you can correct me.
It's hurtful. It is. It's hurtful. That's why I've kept quite quiet, because it does hurt. It really does hurt. Because I've had private conversations with her, and she knows who's good around her and who's not. She does know, but she's such a
giver.
Yeah. She tries not to turn people away, you know, but she knows she was aware of who was good and who wasn't. you know, who was for her and who wasn't.
And this is why we had to be the bad guys. We had to be the bad guys because her heart was so big. You will fight Sasha,
That's exactly what
and she would still weep. And I know I was the bad guy, but she still loved me. I don't think anything changed about that. But it was just one of those things. And she listened, though. She's stubborn, but she would listen. When she knows that you're coming from the right place, she does listen. And that's one thing I would say. Even though I know it kills her because she's hype all the time, but this past couple of months, Sasha really just took that moment to reflect on what mattered to her. Because I don't know, Janie, I don't know, Tubada, what you think about that, but I think there was something brewing big that was about to come out. And so many people do not understand that she is so more than the world needs Sasha Johnson, because she gives us, I would say, like attracts like. And the only reason I felt so deeply invested in Sasha was, you know, when you want to be able to say, yeah, I was there. I was there, I got to see that. You know, I bet that's what Martin Luther King's friends are saying. I bet that's what Malcolm X's friends are saying, because you can see the Angela Davis friends, those people, that's Sasha.
Fighter. She's a fighter. That, like, look at her now. She is a fighter. I mean, we know that we know that she was going to survive. We knew that she was going to survive. She's a fighter. She's a very strong person. She's very resilient. If you hear her story, you know, her backstory, she's very resilient. She's a very strong person, and she's a fighter.
And I think that's what made me and her close. Her backstory had so many similarities that it felt like I couldn't leave you. I couldn't. Sorry, my camera is off, guys. The more I talk about her, I just think about I'm that person that will call and just say, take that down. Don't say that. Remove that person. And what are you doing? You're not going to that event. But the things that, and sometimes she would sneak and still go to the event. Yeah. And then I was sending her a video and say, I saw you.
It's funny you should say that, because certain things she'd say to me, I think we were like the aunties, Marvina, because she would say to me, oh, I was scared to tell you this. Do you know what I mean? She'd say things, oh, I was scared to tell you this.
I had a conversation with her because recently she went to something that I told her not to go to. And she didn't tell me, but instead of me telling her, I know you went, I just sent her a video of herself, because you know Sasha, she ain't going nowhere, she ain't in the front. So I was like, who is that? Well, she's doing well. And then she was like, oh, I didn't want to say anything because I know you would be upset. And I go, never you not tell me something because you think I'll be upset. I'll prefer to know so I can protect you if anything goes wrong, because you know I'm going to be on the phone making sure we fix it. I think she called me Fix It Felix, Fix It Marvina, because I'm there always trying to fix things. And I know when all this went down, people didn't understand. I wanted to fix it. I wanted to understand. And she helped a lot with to support. I don't know, Bada, do you want to talk about Bada Trust and any of her involvement and support that she did with you?
Yeah, of course. So even from the conception of the Bada Trust, Sasha was right there because we was working closely together at the time. So I can't tell you how many brainstorm sessions we had. I've still got like the pads where me and her were scribbling down the spidergrams and adding in different things. And she was so like innovative. She would always have new ideas and new ways to approach things. And even if you bucked up on a hurdle, just her determination, she just was never deterred, ever. So yeah, she helped me put together the very first core foundations of the Bada Trust. So when it first got onto paper, out of ideas onto paper, yeah, Sasha was right there at the beginning of that. So she was going to be one of the speakers at the launch, but things didn't work out like that. But yeah, she is an amazing writer as well. Like she can write like ideas and stories and versions and manifestos, and she knows the legal side and she knows the political side. And yeah, she was just so instrumental to help.
She was
get
on my case to write a book, you know. She was like, Marvina, when are you going to write your book? When are you going to write your book? I was like, sis, there's so much to write. And she was like, what would you call it? And I was like, the lies they tell her. She's like, bad. That's going to be fire when you start doing that. But then she connects people. When she talks about you, Bada, I just want to say it to you and everybody that's been on here. When she talks about you guys, it's nice to know that there was love around her.
Yeah.
In the darkness, there was love around her. In the conspiracy theory, in the people were brave enough to go and make videos to try and slate her name, but it just was like water on a duck's back because it's Sasha Johnson, you know what I mean? It's like no other. Really, she is a force to be reckoned with. She just works.
And that's why sorry to cut you, sis, but that's why when I saw some of the negative talk and some of the people claiming to know, like at some of them, I was a bit upset at first because I thought it was out of order, but then on the other side, I was kind of half laughing because I was like, you have no idea who she is, like, and you're pretending to know who she is. The people who really do know that none of that's true. So yeah, it was a mixed feelings, but at the same time now it's just all about positive thoughts for Sasha. Whoever was on the negative tip, they're just such a tiny drop in the ocean of love. And we can see now how much love she's got. Even just a couple of posts I've posted up about her, like the amount of love coming back in for Sasha. I'm all having people saying, I didn't know sister, but I see her works. And so I'm sending her love anyway, just because they see what she was doing. So yeah, she touched lives all around the world.
But one thing I have to say about Sasha that I know me and her love doing, and this is what people don't understand. That girl was a prayer. All I do anyway, I think all of you are used to it anyway, who know me, is I just pray. When things go wrong, I'm like, let's pray. Let's speak to the ancestors. All right, sis, you're gonna fast here. You're gonna make sure you send it back on a spiritual plane. You need to protect yourself. You need to make sure you get yourself aligned. And I don't know, Bada and Jenny, did you experience that with her? That spiritual side of her?
Yeah, not as much for me.
Yeah, not as much for me, but she did refer a lot of the time, because you know a lot of that comes from, like, she did refer a lot of the time to her grandmother, who she, you know, back in Jamaica, who she was raised by. So you know, that prayer, you know, that prayer came from, you know, her grandmother. You know, so I know that she did have that. But she didn't really show it much, but to me anyway. But I know that it came from her grandmother. And the thing that the thing that's interesting as well is that, you know, Sasha probably didn't even think that she had much of an impact to people. People love to hear her talk and stuff like that. People might heckle her, but since what's happened, I mean, she's national news. She's celebrities, MPs, politicians are coming out and talking to her and giving their blessings to her. You know, it's that I find amazing. You know, that I find amazing. And I've seen some posts from America as well come up on social media talking about Sasha. You know,
and
so
I think that saddens me though. That saddens me that it took this.
Yeah.
But it's also brilliant because I could see it. You know, when you just want to say, sis, I told you. And I remember
they were watching. They were watching. What
they were
the
watching.
thing about it, they've only come out of the open now, but they were all watching. They were all watching.
And this is the part, and one message I will want to say to everybody today. Do not wait. And I will say this even about myself now. If you appreciate me and you love me, tell me now. if you care about the work and you see that I'm doing good work, tell me now.
I appreciate you and love you, Marvina.
And I appreciate and love you.
Yeah.
And we need, and Bada
Brother,
knows.
I appreciate and love you. You know that
I
anyway.
appreciate and love you, both of you sisters.
No, always. And that's the thing. Because in life, I think I do it so much that Bada will just get a random message of me just saying, bro, you know I love you, yeah? Like random, like just random. I go, bro, I'm so proud of you, you know? Like, I think you will go through your messages and that's all you will see. Like, you're doing big stuff, like just random. And even the way I met Bada, I literally listened to your piece on Paulette. And I was like, I don't know this guy. And I was just like, I want to say to you, bro, well done. No, actually, it's not that one. I saw the one around Joy Floyd. And I sent you a message and I said, whatever you're doing, bro, I'm so proud of you. I just want to say, well done. I don't know you from Adams, and that's how I work. And in life, sometimes when you see good work, what you need to do, just say, I appreciate you. Jenny, I remember seeing some piece that you did, and like, actually, it's Sasha that showed it to me. I can't even remember what it was. And she told me, yeah, there's this person, you know, like she's now like my sister, and she's doing a documentary on me. I'm like, wow, no problem. And then every time I speak to you, I'm just like, sis, you know, thank you so much. And you're like, what are you saying thank you for? I go, just for being there for my sis. Just for showing the story about her. And we need to always, always, always ensure that I don't want you to give me flowers when I'm sick. I don't want people to, so like now when people, one thing I actually really want people to do, I want you to send a love letter to Sasha in the hospital. I want you to send after you've learned about her today, I want you to take it into action. Send her a card, send a message and thank the doctors, send some positive vibration to the team taking care of her, send some protection to her. Pray if you don't even have money or resources to do that. Send your prayers up and ask the ancestors to all stand around her. Give her that notion and tell her that, yes, she's jamming. I know she's sitting there with the ancestors, learning and getting some fountain of knowledge right now, but she needs to come and share it with us. We need her to come back and share with us.
Resting. She's exhausted from all the work, all the good work she's been doing, so she's just resting. She needed that rest.
She does.
Yeah, so she's just resting, and when she's ready to wake up, she'll come. You know, they'll take the sedation off, and she'll be well rested.
And one other thing I would ask people, I know everyone's like, oh, is she all right? Is this? Do you know what? Send some prayers to the family and the boys.
Yeah.
Instead of you asking, when there's something for us to tell you about her health, she will tell you herself. So even though we've introduced her friends and family to you today, look, the light just, Sasha, I heard you, it's okay. You don't have to turn the lights off. Can you imagine this chick? She's like, send some love and prayers to the family and friends, because I think it's so needed at this moment. And my light, I'm going to turn my light on. Sorry.
Is that what happened? The light is a thing, isn't it? I've had that, you know, when my mum put
the light. Sasha, when she does it, I know it's her. Cheeky little brother. When she agrees on something, the light will flicker. I say to people that the day that happened, again, this is a spiritual thing, and other people might not agree to it. And I've not really shared this. I think I've only shared it to Auntie Jean or someone. On the Sunday, the day was my son's birthday. So on the Sunday itself, I was still up with a couple of friends in my house. And I was like, I wish I was chilling with Sasha, you know, because we were all meant to be in that party. I think we all were meant to be in that party, weren't we? Bada was meant to be there. Jenny, were you meant to be there, Bada?
No.
Yeah.
Jenny, were you meant to be there?
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hanging out. I haven't been hanging out. She knows that I haven't been hanging around because of the COVID. I just like to stay away.
Yeah, so this was meant to be the time that we all were going to meet up and just chill. But it was my son's birthday. So for some reason, around 3:03 in the morning, let me give you guys jokes. My son's balloon, it was like a Pokemon balloon. It just popped. And all of a sudden, I just felt hot. Like, you know, when you just feel like hot from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And I'll make you laugh. I've got like Florida water, yeah? And I don't know, I just felt like I needed to pray. And I didn't know what it was. Sorry, I think my children just come back. Sorry, guys. Hi, sorry, my kids just came home. Sorry about that. They've just been in their friend's house. And I remember just literally just having to take a moment. But it didn't make sense, only for me to know the next day the time of everything, you know? When you know the timing of everything, it literally changes you in 100%. So when I think about Sasha, I just think, wow, what kind of blessing is she in every way? Bada, I'm gonna let you take the reins. Tell us something that only you know about Sasha Johnson.
Me and her used to sit down and watch Hidden Colors. So we would go from Hidden Colors 1 and go right through. So all of the Black history, slave trade, the whole triangle route, we used to go through all of that. So she used to love the Black knowledge and studying it. And anything I could bring to her that she didn't already know, she was like, you know, that kid in the candy store. She just loved to absorb the knowledge. So yeah, that was a good time that we spent then. Hello?
Is everybody still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, be honest with you, the kids are in the house and you could just hear them, they're in their zone, they're just moving around me. And I think that's something that also brings me to think, her boys deserve her mom, so we're going to pray for the boys to see the mom when she's ready, and we're going to pray that the support is around there. Thank you. You can have some. Sorry. I don't apologize for my children in the background because that's what children do. So we're going to just rock that.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate Sasha, Marvina, because an activist is a very, not anyone could be an activist. You know what I mean? It's you're putting yourself in the line of fire as well. You're putting yourself up for to be vilified. You're putting yourself up to be criticized. You know, so but you're doing it for the people.
Sis, the most painful thing.
I appreciate.
Sis, thank you for that. Yeah, because I think even just people don't know we don't get paid for this. We don't get paid for this. Sometimes actually the people we do it for actually insult us. We get called all names underneath the sun. We get targeted from the outside and also from the inside.
Absolutely.
Constantly get torn apart by words and things people say all the time. And it's just painful time and time again. But like, if we did this for praise, we would not do it. I promise you, we wouldn't do it at all. And me and Sasha will be sharing tips on, because I do a food bank down here too, and I will make sure that there's plantain and there's okra and there's like scotch bonnet and yam, and she will do the same. She will be like, yeah, the person that's supplying me chicken is moving mad. Because we know that the food banks don't have food for our community. So we will make that our thing that we will do. And sometimes, let's be honest, yeah, 90% of the time, including me, we spend our money.
Yeah.
We spend our money. How many times has Sasha spent her money to do stuff, Jenny?
Lots and lots and lots and lots. But she enjoyed doing it. She enjoyed helping people. She was always there, and it wasn't for clout. She was always there. If there was an issue, she would be there. You know, when that child, that young boy got beaten up by a bunch of white people, she was there. She liked feeding people.
Yeah.
She really liked
Raynham, when she flew down to Raynham to help the boy and his mum.
Yeah.
And then Janie, remember this one? That's what I was going to say earlier. Wasn't I speaking to her on the phone when you two was on your way to Liverpool.
Yes.
Remember that one as well? I remember speaking to you lot all the way there. So same thing. There was a racial attack in Liverpool, you know. And this woman decided, I'm going Liverpool to defend this black woman and her family.
Yeah, and we just drove there like it was nothing.
Just the type of person that she is. She drove to Liverpool like as if it was, let me go Brixton.
But that's the thing about Sasha is that people didn't know. And they say when you do good work, you don't need to announce it.
No.
We don't do it for the grams. We don't do it. I know me and her are always jumping on live. Sasha will just call me, Marvina, I'm pissed. You know what, yeah? You see what happened to Meghan Markle? We're going online. And I'm like, sis, give me 2 seconds. Let's do it now. And then we'll go online. And it was just fun. We got to talk about stuff to do with our community, but we said it on our terms. And every time she opens her mouth, it's just intellectual. I know everybody here will just think, can you talk about someone for like 2 hours? Yes, you can. We can talk about Sasha for like 10 hours, 20 hours, because it's Sasha. We've not even scratched the surface. But what we'll do, if you two can just wait, let's open it up to questions. Does anyone want to ask any questions or say anything before we can continue?
Yeah, I think Mimi has got a question. Marvina, go ahead, Mimi. Mimi?
She might have a
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I came, sorry, I was on mute. I came in quite late and I could hear the discussion, but it seems to be in the past tense. So I sort of raised my hand to make an inquiry if we're really speaking in the right terms about Sasha, because last news I heard is that she's in recovery. So I just wanted people to kind of be mindful that you're not talking about somebody who is, used to be. She is obviously still here, and it's nice to say, oh, she used to be. Sorry, it's nice not to say she used to be, but that she is, because you're obviously trying to generate the right energy around her, and she is still present with us. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
No, I think everything we keep saying, please do correct me if I think I've been talking in present, and I think we keep talking in present. But if you came in and it sounded like that, I would like you to know that's not the case here. We are talking about her like right now, in the present, and we were manifesting what we'll do with her when she comes out. So if that, I don't remember us, I don't know, I could ask Bada or Jenny. I think we were talking in present, but someone please let me know if that's the case. But my sister is around, mate. The light went off. My sister is around. She ain't going nowhere, and she's just resting. So we are talking about her in the present, and she is Sasha Johnson. She is a force to be reckoned with, and I miss her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I miss her.
I miss her.
I miss her.
It's but I know she would tell me that my cry is ugly, so I'm not gonna do it. She'll be like, "What are you crying for?" She's like, "I'm not there to hug you." So I'm like,
I think Josephine's got a question as well.
Yeah, go on, Josephine.
Thank you. I've been here.
Sorry, Josephine, you're very low.
Can you hear me?
You're very, very low. You're faint.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Can you hear me a little bit better now?
No, a little bit more. You need to come up.
Oh my gosh.
I can hear. I can hear.
No different to normal. It must be the connection must be bad tonight. Maybe it's the cloud.
All right, we'll go ahead and then see if the question you want to ask, see if they can hear you, yeah?
Well, really, it's just to say that I've been listening from the beginning tonight, and I hear Marvina and I hear Bada, and you know, her close family and friends, and they're speaking of her talent, and the impression well, I don't know her. I've only heard her speaking in meetings, and she made a strong impression on me. I thought to myself, oh, I've got faith in the youth who are coming behind me. That's what I felt when I heard her, you know, powerful. And to hear people speak tonight of her personal style, she's a force of nature. That's all I can say. And I think I hear it said she's of Jamaican heritage. Yes. She makes one proud to be of a Jamaican heritage. I'm looking forward to seeing her back. And telling you the truth, since the event happened, every morning I wake up, she's not my family, but she came into my mind first thing. I thought to myself, I hope she's getting stronger today. That's the first thing I'm thinking to myself. And can't wait to see her out and about again.
Amen.
Ashe, yeah, so shall it be.
She made water come to my eye. You know, it's sad.
The enemy within can do no harm. Our people need to also wake up.
Yeah.
Our people need to wake up. It's a reality. It's a thing. You hurt the wrong one, but don't worry. We're going to learn from this. We're sending positive vibration. And I think that also makes sense with what Bada did in his video. Like, I honestly think that's what Sasha is about. It's about the young people. It's about the young, and that's what tonight is. So every last Friday of every month, the Garvey Village has given me the humble, and I'm still struggling while I'm doing it. It seems like every month there's something new. And I want to say thank you to the Garvey. I want to say thank you to my aunties for being patient, because today I didn't know how I was going to do this. But then
you've done well.
The patience that the elders give, and to the young people, the elders are so important. They ground you. They really do. They also, you get a family. It's just built in. And that's what the Garvey Village does. And I bless Sasha because she brought that to me.
Yeah, and I actually think I brought it to her because it was Junior who told me about it, and I said, I'll bring Sasha along. And she fitted right in from that day. Was it in Hackney, or there was a meeting in a wine bar? I think it was in Hackney somewhere. And I brought her along to that, and she fitted right in, and you know, everything's great with her and the Garvey Village.
It's amazing. I think the Garvey Village gives us a platform every last Friday of the month. And we celebrate Black excellence in actually the theme never changed, because when you think about it, we're talking about Black youth excellence, and who are we talking about? Sasha Johnson. Yes. And I get to be the host for this during this period with the guidance and the support of my elders. So I feel like the only thing you see shining on the screen is the love and the appreciation. This is someone that has been spoken into. This is someone that has been built on. This is someone that I get prayers from all my elders in this room. So when I come out, I've been blessed to come out in the Garvey Village. And that's what Sasha is getting right now, that blessing that radiates. And they turned up on Monday. I got to meet all my family on Monday. Like literally, I fell into Auntie Chair's hand, like, where have you been, Auntie Jean? I was just like, oh my gosh. And when we held hands to pray, there were times I wanted to collapse. I think there were a couple of times I wanted to faint. But there's a strength that you get from your elders just holding you up and saying, you've got this. You've got this. And the drums, oh my gosh. I feel like Sasha was there just thinking, yeah, literally. I don't know about other people, but I just feel like she would have been there saying, "Oh, this for me?" And I'll be like, "Yes, this, just for you." Jenny, you were there. How did you feel just being in that kind of atmosphere with the drums and the libation and just the prayers and everything? What did you feel in that?
Amazing. I mean, it was, I mean, I came at the tail end of it, but it was just powerful. Powerful. And I'm sure she heard it from where she was. I'm sure she heard it all.
And
we're next door, so, you know, making that noise and, you know, sending those vibrations to her. She's getting it. She's getting it. She's getting it.
Yeah, she is. She is. She is. She is. She is. She is.
She's feeling those vibrations.
Yes, she is Sasha Johnson. Oh, man, I don't feel like to you, man. Honestly, you never meet a girl like Sasha, man. I'm not gonna lie at all. Like even me, I had to kind of, sorry, my tone just changed because that chick, that woman, hey. Be honest to you, I understand why people want to claim they know her now. It's cool. That's what greatness brings, isn't it? You can't be mad. You can't be mad at them. You have to be able to stand in the shadows sometimes and just take whatever limelight you get. And yes, I'm saying it direct. And if anyone thinks I'm being offensive, they just need to sit with it. If you don't show me love love now, then don't show me love later. I don't care about that. All this fakeness needs to stop. Send positive vibrations to her. Don't speak her name. If you have nothing, sorry, Auntie, it's not like I'm about to curse someone, but I'm going to pray about this. If your intention for her has never been pure and you want to use this circumstance as a come up, you would not be able to enjoy any fruit of your labor if you continue to move in that way. You do not use someone's name as a come up. That one is not a curse, and I don't play with my words. The reason being is that in life, you need to be able to fight on this spiritual warfare that we're in. And the evil eye is real, but I don't focus on it because my ancestors got me 24/7. But yet doesn't mean we allow blasphemous behavior. So this is a message for those people that want to be doing this blasphemous behavior, to hack into the light that is shining from this person, this empress on our own. Don't use your lies to tarnish the story of this queen. Because the gods that we work with, the ancestors that back us up, they don't play with those kind of stupidity. So make sure you align your will to your ancestors' will before you speak about my sister. Because she's got a team of angels and ancestors working on her case. And they don't like ugly at all. So that being said, I'm going to go to the softer me. Because obviously, she is. Any other questions? Anything, any comments that people want to say about Sasha? Any contribution of how did you meet Sasha? Let's hear your experience of how you met Sasha. I would like to know Auntie Jean's experience of how she met Sasha actually, and Auntie Chairs and Auntie Patrice and Uncle Galaxy, Clyde. I just want to know. I want to learn from you how you met Sasha and what she left, what impression she left with you.
Wow. How did I meet Sasha? I can't even remember when to tell you the truth, I can't even remember when I actually met Sasha, but all I know is, or what I do remember is how dynamic she is at that time when I met her, and how I just said strong and, you know, powerful in a way and very confident. And you couldn't miss that confidence. You couldn't miss that aura that she has about her. And I think it was on film, I saw her, she was at a demonstration or something, and I was sort of like asking about, do you know how I can get contact with her? How can I get in contact with this woman? And what was amazing to find out how young she was. And she's doing all of this, you know, it was the George Floyd, and the fact that she organized, was part of the organizing of the actual march, was totally, as I said, totally amazing. And I, you know, I showed her my gratitude to her and what she's doing. And as the other sister said, she's one of the people, when you look at them as a youngster, that gives us elders hope that, you know, the baton's being passed down, and there's somebody else picking it up and running with it, and that somebody else who's picking up and running with it is greater. She's coming like that Muhammad Ali of this time, you know, fearless, you know, will tackle anything, help anyone, regardless. And you know, she's always there, and I hold her in high admiration from the moment I saw her footage right till now. You know, that's why I've got my candle lit, and I focus on the light of that candle to send her the healing vibration so that she comes back 100%, if not more, and nothing less I expect from the ancestors, nothing less I expect from her either, because she's a fighter through and through. And I just want everybody to just focus. Even if you haven't got a candle, just imagine that candle light flickering and that light that's coming around that candle, and let that light engulf and caress and hold our sister Sasha, our warrior queen, our modern day warrior queen, and bring her back into wellness and 100% health. I'll remember things as I go along, because the brain not too good, you know. So, Sister Shez, can you remember? And then she's used the platform quite a few times as well.
Yeah, she has that. Yeah, and when I have heard Sasha speak, and you know, it was actually through the Garvey, through Auntie Jean that I had met Sasha. So but I had seen her, the work that she was doing before. So it was interesting that she was on our platform, and just to hear what she was saying, and which was good, because this is what we need. We do need to actually pass that baton on, as Auntie Gina said, and it's always about mentoring the younger generation, and let them see how the elders, because we don't want to be a thing where we've done what we've done before and we've seen no results on that, you know. So we need to have something that's new, and but still instilling some of the traditions that we've had before, but we're using, you know, some more. So the technology has grown, so we'd have to use different mechanisms. And to see the way how Sister Sasha, how she's mobilized people, you know, to say, no, we can't be taking what's been going on. We can't. Enough is enough. And oh well. Marvina.
Little one.
Oh wow, I've just seen some cheeks, boy. Sorry. I've got a thing about fat cheeks, sorry. Cute cheeks. But no, it's just to see that alone, you know, it's just so amazing. And this is what we need. We do need that in this day and age, you know, because we are under attack. And we need people to say, no, we're not going to stand for this, you know. Like my parents' generation, we used to just turn the other cheek, you know, and say, yeah, you know, we'll just get on with it. But as generations are getting on, they're not having that, and it's just good to see that is still carrying on now. That no, definitely not. And through Sasha, she's mobilized that now, so people are asking questions and moving forward, you know. And yeah, and that's a special and unique part of it, mobilizing and galvanizing our youth to actually say, no, you need to still be asking questions and standing strong. So yeah, so that's what I would say in regards to our sister. Yeah.
And then what's the beauty of Sasha is that she actually inspires other youth to become warriors as well.
Absolutely.
You know, because they look at her and they say, you know something, I could do something like that as well. You know, it gives them the courage to stand up and rise up as well.
Absolutely. And this is what we should be doing anyway, you know, because as elders, I'm not going to spend too long, as elders, sometimes it's about our egos as well. And we have got to learn to actually, you know, let go and try and pass that on, and try and make sure that we are mentoring our youth. We're not always going to see eye to eye, but we need to actually say, yeah, we have to work together if we want to see results. And yeah, some of us will do it. Definitely at the Garvey, we do that. We definitely do mentor, and you can see that in regards to Marvina and the testimonies, what she said about the Garvey. So, but yeah, other elders, they need to take that and instill that as well. So yeah, so that's all I would say. I don't know if you want to say something, Sister Patricia, looking pretty in pink as always.
Oh, yes, my sister. So are you, looking pretty in pink?
No, I'm in red today.
Oh, it's red. Oh, the power, the power, the power.
Sorry, I was like the colonizers today. A little bit of sun come out, and yeah.
At least you never strip off.
Oh, please. All right, I'll leave it over to you, Sister Patricia.
Well, before I speak, maybe Kasheni could speak, because she had her hand up and I don't want to jump in. So Kasheni, if you want to speak before me, I'm quite happy for you to ask your question or say.
No, you can go ahead. I was going to show something, but if you want to go ahead, and in the meantime, Jean, if you wouldn't mind giving me access on share screen.
Okay.
So please, Patricia, please go ahead.
Yes, well, what can I say? I mean, a powerhouse is how I would describe Sasha Johnson. I met her first when she came onto the Garvey Village platform with the TTIP party with
Charles
Gordon. And that was and then when I listened to her speak, her articulation, her clarity, you know, it was just great. It was just great. And as people have already said, it's recognizing, you know, because when you're out in the community working and you're sharing and you're hoping that what you're saying, you know, is registering with people, you're not always sure that that's the case. I mean, I've done a lot of training myself in the past. And so it was really great just to listen to Sasha, because it felt like I was listening to myself, and that was just absolutely wonderful. Her clarity, her passion, and something that really struck me was how the word polite comes to mind, but it's how she would refer to the older.
Hi.
Yeah. The older heads, in terms of, you know, being respectful, she would say things like auntie or uncle in terms of reference to somebody who was, you know, older than herself. And that, I think, is something that has been missing from a lot of our youngsters. You know, we talk often about the generation gap and the need for us to bridge that gap. And it's important for us to do that if we really want to take the youngsters, you know, move forward with the youngsters and stand with them. And so it was good. It being, you know, the respect that I feel that Sasha displays in her communication with her family. The other time I saw her is when the young lad in Tottenham was assaulted by the police, and she was there. There was a demonstration outside Tottenham police station, where again her articulation, her clarity, her strength, her sort of willingness to stand, you know, head to you know, face to face with the police and challenge them, you know, verbally. She was not going to back down. And again, you know, seeing that kind of demonstration from a young woman, a young Black woman, for me was very, very important, you know, because we see so many other kinds of behavior that makes me feel sad often. But seeing her demonstrate that confidence, again, it was in Brixton when we had a I think it was Bob Marley's birthday celebration in Brixton, Bob Marley, and one of our drummers got arrested by the police for supposedly breaking COVID rules. And we went to the police station. We were outside the police station again, you know, showing that we were not prepared to back down. And she was just dancing, and everyone was dancing and just being happy. Although the perception from the police is that these people should be really shouting and cussing, we were not doing any of that. We were just there making sure that we were seen, our voices were heard, and we were not prepared to be intimidated by the police. So I just feel very sad that this has happened. I certainly hope it doesn't happen to any other young person, but sadly, I will hear, you know, I will hear that other young people have been killed in the street, you know, and it's so sad. You know, I'm praying that Sasha will recover, and as you say, Jean, to, you know, come back to her full capacity and stronger. So I just continue to pray for her recovery and her well-being. Thank you.
Yes, Shay. Yes, Shay. Sister Kasheni.
Okay.
Because
Give
you was in the
thanks.
car when Sasha called me, and we
That's
met
right.
with Marvina for the first time.
That's
And
right.
my car didn't start, and it didn't start. That was the reason.
Yeah, that was quite something, because we had met up and we had a journey we were going to take, and we were in Brixton, and there was 4 of us in the car, and I think it was either Sasha or Marvina that called, and then spoke to
Sasha
Jean.
called, and then she put Marvina on the
Yeah,
phone.
and it was
then
when
I
you'd
said,
done the
open it out, so everybody in the car, so we can all be party to this conversation. That all
and I
happening.
think there was myself and 2, one was a senior elder and another sister, and we just heard this, because it was the demonstration in Parliament.
Yeah.
That's right, and it was all hectic and things had gone on, and there was other things that were coming through from different people about should they have done it, should they not, whatever was outside the Houses of Parliament. And we had these 2 sisters, and then Sasha just, it was a flow of articulation, just the whole rationale, the whole context, all the way through. And then Marvina spoke, and there it happened again, all the way through. And these were 2, we could even feel this kind of dynamo energy. And everything they were saying was, there was no apology, there was no hiding. It was all so in context, speaking a truth, seeing the word sound that in some ways, some of us may hide behind a bit, wouldn't actually say. And the elder that was with us was just like, who are these? Who are these? Who are these? She hadn't heard young people, and let me say this, young women in that way before. She really hadn't, out of her own generation, pretty much. And obviously there were people. And Marvina, have you got a photo? The one that I've sent you? I've sent you a picture to share. That's, I think, is quite interesting. And so just the sense of it raised hope. It just raised like, oh wow, we do have people that have got the words, that know what they're doing, they've got the intelligence, they've got the action. We felt that their action was a little bit you know, the partnerships and all of that was going on, but it didn't really matter. It was really the new sense of action was very exciting. And she had that about her. And then, you know, more stories, and then I learned more about her. I spoke to her after this whole thing happened with herself and Call, where they were getting arrested, and all of these kind of things started to, the momentum started to kind of, you know, build, and the dirty Babylon having some kind of view of her in some way. But if we've got that picture, so I'm sharing this, and I think the sister Anyana is on the platform as well, and she did do a presentation about our sister Olive Morris.
That's right. That's right.
And I just put this together just for this instance. The photo of Olive Morris and this thing itself is not something that's going to be out in the media, so it is private to this platform. I'm taking my own risk in using it because it belongs to Nubian Jack, but it's not going to be used in this form in any way. I'm really using it just to mark, this is Olive Morris that we didn't know much about at that time. And I suspect if Olive Morris was like how Sasha is today, it'd be a very different picture, but they both have that influence, you know, and that's them, that's our young women, that's our women, that's somebody that was there before. That's her legacy. And one of the things that we today, we're only now learning about Olive Morris and her influence and the changes that she brought. And it's different with Sasha because that shows that we've moved on in this time. So we have to notice, and where are we going? So that's our story. So this is, Olive Morris would have been 70s, I believe. And 30 years later, we have Sasha.
Sister Kashanua, give thanks for that.
That's beautiful, yeah.
Because there's so many parallels,
yes,
to Sasha and Auntie Olive. And in fact, my son, who's Olive's nephew, when I told him, anyway, he wrote something within about 10 minutes or so. So he's going to read something just to kind of send his message of strength, unity to Sister Sasha. So this is Mr. Azarius Morris. Go on. Are you going to put the camera on?
Oh, isn't the camera on already? I don't know how to turn it on.
Hold on.
Can they hear you? Yeah, go on. Yeah,
They can hear you.
I don't know.
There's your camera.
Hiya. Hey,
all right.
Music man.
What? Yeah. So, obviously, you know, I heard about the news because I've been very busy recently. So, you know, I only heard about the news recently. Obviously, it only happened like 2 days ago. But, you know, I was a bit shocked. So I decided to write something, you know, because obviously we need more sisters out there like Sasha. So, you know, the news of Sasha Johnson's health startled me and my family. The thought of a strong woman at the young age of 27 did draw a lot of parallels between my big sister, who is 27, and Olive Morris. And, you know, I thought to myself, how would I feel if my own sister just went to a party and that could happen like that? It can happen to anyone, can't it? So, you know, she was a mother and of 2 kids. And the fact that this happened, and you know what I mean? She was a mother of 2 kids.
She is a mother. She is a mother of 2 kids.
She is a mother of 2 kids. So she's a mother of 2 kids, and obviously I'm a bit nervous in it. So she's
but we were going to correct you every time. Don't say kids, say children. Because
children.
Yes,
that's the point.
I have made the same mistake. I have made the same mistake, and every time all you say, just like what you've just done there, it's just like, okay, children. Sorry, Auntie. So bad. Well, thank you so much for doing that piece. That is quite inspiring. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what though? One thing I did want to leave on as well. It's because when I looked up what happened with the shooting as a whole, it turns out that there is a possibility that it could have been a gang rivalry thing, and it does bring up a problem within the Black community as a whole. That, you know, as a community, especially Black men, we need to fix up in a sense to help prevent stuff like this from happening, because it can happen to anyone. it could happen to me when I go outside randomly. I have nothing to do with crimes going on, but yeah, I'm affected, my family's affected, and she's affected. So that's really what I wanted to say as well. And obviously, my family, the Morrises, we give nothing but love and respect and support and prayers to Sasha and her family.
Can I say thank you so much? And we need to get you on the show on a different date. So I am booking you for next month. I'm just giving you a month notice.
Oh, real? Yeah.
I'm giving you a month notice because I would like you to be in charge of us looking at that conversation around what can we collectively do to make our community, it takes our community to police our community, and we need to see what we need to do to help our young men and women to pick a better part. So it'll be something I would love to see what we can work on the back of all of this.
Can I just say quickly, Marvina?
My name is
Anyana. Anyana is on the Garvey Management Committee.
Hey, well, bro.
So but you're at fault because she's been contacting you. But anyway, I won't air that out. I'll just say it. I'm just putting it out there. So Anyana, who was Darius's mum. So basically, yeah, you can converse with it, yeah.
Definitely, we'll get it happening.
I'll make sure. Come on.
Thank you, King. Thank you,
Cool.
King. Well done.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Thank you.
I was going to say, would you like to repeat it? Because I did interrupt you by saying children and not kids. So would you like to repeat what you said, please?
You know what? Yeah, I don't mind because I actually didn't even read it. I just ended up explaining how I felt.
I know. So that's it.
Weird.
Yes, I realised that. So please say
it. I'll read it all then. The news of Sasha Johnson's health startled me and my family. The thought of a strong woman at the young age of 27 drew some parallels between my sister and aunt, Olive Morris, a fellow former activist which died at age 27. It is alarming that people would make death threats to a woman, a mother of 2 children, standing up for her rights and seeking justice. So much so that they believe it warrants being shot. And even if the report of the shooting being an accident, it doesn't detract from the fact that an otherwise seemingly innocent individual which fights for equality, a warrior within the community, is now in critical health due to being caught in the crossfire of 2 rival gangs. Sasha is an inspirational woman within the Black community. Her activism is a testament to the young generation and millennials that we have not forgotten the fight that led us to where we are today. This leads me on to another point. How many young, vibrant individuals, such as Sasha, will be taken from us due to gang violence that pollutes the community? These gang rivalries, as shown here, can inevitably spill into everyday people's lives and affects us in the worst ways. I sincerely wish and hope the best for Sasha and her family and send prayers from the late Olive Morris goes out to her and her family. I hope those that did this are brought to justice and that Sasha makes a full recovery.
Ashay.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you this big favor. You see that? Can you send that? Because I think it would be nice to send that to like Sasha's mom. It would be really nice if that's okay with you.
That was the plan.
I would love to send that to her family. And honestly, I think I would love to get you enlightened, saying that, and being able to like let the world know that, because we need to show that young men, Black men, are sending love and protecting Black women.
Yeah, there's not enough of that.
You're a positive deviance. The society doesn't want to show up people like you, but you exist.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank
Give
you.
thanks.
Thank
I'll make sure to do that. Don't worry. I'll send it. I'll get my mom to send it because I think I forwarded it onto her, or I can send it to you anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll DM mommy my number now. And hopefully mom. And then if mom can send it to me, I would really appreciate. Your mom has brought up. We thank God for your mom, and we thank God for your life. The ancestors are with you. And your Nanja. Wait.
Yes, so.
Wait, you're Igbo.
Yes, now we're from Imo State.
Okay. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, my brother. Welcome. We're all part of the community. Sorry, you see the way I switched that? No, but no, you're blessed. Again, the reason that I got excited about him being Nigerian is because that notion of Nigerian boys or Nigerian men. So you're just illuminating the thing even more, because there's a stereotype associated with Nigerian men, and like the Nigerian men I know are extraordinary. Yes. And I'm not gonna paint all the Nigerian men with what the tarnished brush that they choose to paint us.
I'm not gonna deny it. I actually don't know what stereotype this is.
Yahoo. So you're gonna tell me you don't know. Who knows exactly what I mean?
I think I've got an idea of it, but okay, I'm onto it. I'm onto it now. I wasn't okay. Just excited, but I get you.
No, but we're blessed and highly favored, man. We're blessed and highly favored. And Sasha, the Africa in her is about to be born. She'll be fine. And your poem was thought-provoking and literally everything that we need right now. So thank you. Thank you
for having me on.
No, my pleasure. We're having you next month. So just giving you.
Don't worry, I'll be here. I ain't going well. Hopefully, I ain't.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other person wants to share the experience of meeting Sasha, the impact she's had in their life? Anyone?
Yeah, Galaxy Quiet here. I shared before, but yeah, greetings, greetings, sis. I shared before about the energy, because I never meet Sasha personally, but I met her through her video document. I don't know how I came across her video, but I watched one video and I said, this is the energy that I felt through the video. It's not an energy, I would say charisma. I would say this is magic. So her spirit is very, very powerful. And I felt that. And I spent some time watching a couple of videos that she had on YouTube. But I didn't know the first time when she was on Garvey Village, I didn't know she was going to be on that night, because I think because of work, I didn't tune in that night. So I didn't know that she was on. And then I get to talk to Auntie Jean. Sorry, my camera. I was talking to Auntie Jean, and I said, Auntie Jean, this sister is something. Her energy level is just amazing. It's magic, And I said, I really would like us to really hook up with her. And then she said, oh, yes, she was on that. I was like, I missed it. Anyway, I was always looking forward to meet with her. And because there's something, I know, Keshini, you know what I'm talking about. There's something about the spiritual side of Sasha that comes through, which I would consider, I call it magic, because magic is where because some people don't like to use that word, because only children we teach about magic, and as they come old, we don't talk about magic. But they watch a lot of they read a lot of magical story, but after you reach over a certain age, magic is not talked about. But I like to talk about magic because it's the mystical side, and our people call it Heka. That's what the ancient Egyptian call magic. Heka is something where it's something like what we call the rap, where the rap is the concept of rap music. Tubada, I must say respect to you and your work as well, because I can't, as a brother to another brother, what you're doing is excellent, and keep up the work. other sisters out there, your work is so important that we get this, that we understand the importance of the spiritual side, the mystical side, because we come into the timeline for this time. And so those of you who are doing the work, keep it up, because you don't know how much people you're touching, how you're inspiring people that don't know you from all walks and different countries. And just keep up the work you're doing. And with Sasha, we're hoping and we're praying for the best. We're claiming it, we're dreaming it. And one of the things about the cycle that we're in is the cycle of the dream time. So it's important for us to see Sasha out and about, see us communicate with her, see us coming out there, see her coming out the hospital. Just dream the kind of Sasha you want to see in terms of where she's at and where she needs to be. And that's what I would say in connection. Respect.
Shay.
If I can just say, just following on from what Clyde is saying, and what we've used the word magic and the word Heka, and those of us that have been coming to the ancestral mothers sessions that we've had on Africa Culture Market, one of the things is what we talk about is the mystery, and it's I and I mystery. And as Anyana said, the correlations with Olive Morris are there. And there's a message for us in relation to how things pass on. And interestingly enough, it was only just this week as well that a monument a statue was done to Nehanda in Zimbabwe. So join the dots.
Yes.
Yes. And that's really what Clyde is saying. And it's from what I've seen from the news, I don't know if people have spoken about it already, it's very young people that are involved, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. There's one 25-year-old that's been taken, about 5 boys that have been taken by the police and, being charged or being held rather in relation to this. So the young man that gave that poem has put a word sound of healing there, from the young men as well. And it's just for us, and we are to notice. And then the last thing I'll say is, when we left the park on Monday, there was a sister who was filming, and she's been filming Sasha for about a year. So she's been following her for a year. And she said the last shot of the film that she's going to take is Sasha leaving the hospital. So that's what we have to see, that movie.
Yes.
Sasha is leaving the hospital and she's, I don't know, getting into a car or whatever it is. And that's the vision that we've got, because the next phase of her life is going to go forward. I'll also say there was another sister.
That was me, actually.
Was it you? Oh, was that you? Okay, do you remember? When we saw the banner.
Yeah, and that is what's going to happen. She's going to be leaving the hospital. That's
Yes. And the other thing is that there's 2 things that kind of go together. One, I think it was it yesterday? What show was he on? The brother was on, and he was talking about how busy her head was being. They found her head was quite active. The brain was being quite active. He was on a show. Was it Garvey Village yesterday? No, Village, this is Garvey Village.
Oh, no.
I'm out of the whole. My timing, my days are rolling into one. But it was on one of the platforms. Oh no, it was on Omega Radio with Murray. Brother, I think Andy was on, and he was talking about her brain was being very active. And there was a sister on Monday who said, actually, she's gone to the other side to retrieve some info, to retrieve something that she's going to come back with from that journey that she's actually on as well. So it's a very powerful and empowerment to the sister for her to fulfill her destiny and what she has. And that's what we have to keep affirming for ourselves, because it is community orientated, as we can see. And she may well be completing what Olive Morris could not. And just by the by, we're doing a plaque to Olive Morris next month on the 26th of June, which is her birthday. Due to circumstances and everything, it's quite hard not to have loads and loads of people, but such is life. I've mentioned it. So it will be out there at some point, and people will be able to know about it closer to the time. So we are recognizing that sister. And I just learned from the brother, it's the same age, 27, 3 9s. You know, all that. So give thanks, Ashe.
Let me see if I get it right. Sorry, Tesheni. Sorry. Yeah, no, I just want to ask a question on the 27th. Are you saying, Tesheni, that Olive Morris died on the 27th?
No,
That's her birthday.
Her birthday is the 26th. But she died at age 27.
And that's what I wanted to draw, you know, when I said there's some parallels. Olive died of a brain tumor as well. And when you look at, she was also the Black Panther leader at the age of 16. And when you start to consider Olive as well, when I was listening to the recounts of how she took money and she'd buy people food, and in the same way that Olive did those things that she used to manifest things that it appeared impossible. I felt as if I was actually listening to stories about Olive when I'm hearing about the way of Sasha. And it is, for me, Sasha is a reawakening, a rebirthing of Olive, and she, at the age of 27, will rise and continue that work that is so necessary. But so thank you very much, Sister Conshenua, for recognizing that. And yes, and you know, Sasha Johnson is a phenomena in our community. She is one, every generation we get someone special, someone who has the courage to take the battle. And Sasha is our generation. As my son said, she is this millennia, she belongs to this generation, and she takes forth all the works that has been done before. So give thanks, more love, more power, faith, guidance, healing, and Sasha will come and lead us. The elders, she will lead us, yeah? Because that's what she's been sent to do, to teach us where we've gone wrong, just in the same way that Olive was so young. Sasha equally has been given that power, and she, you know, she will make us smile. When I say Sasha Johnson, I'm smiling, you know, she's a beauty to behold. Give thanks.
Ashe. Ashe. I see, Mimi, you have your hand raised. You have a question?
No, I just wanted to say my experience with Sasha. Would that be okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I've never met Sasha Johnson in person, but I have spoken to her. And she first came to my attention through a Zoom friend who said to me that she has identified I'm quite a militant individual. And she came across this young lady on one of the Zoom platforms, and she feels that her and I would be kindling spirit, so to speak, and that we'd be compatible and we could go out and be militant together. So I was quite excited when I heard that. And after doing a bit of digging, I discovered that it was Sasha Johnson. For me, Sasha's very much a soldier, and I would say she's a strong warrior. And in fact, she dwarfs me in being militant and being a warrior and a soldier. The conversation I had with her was about a march or an event that was taking place in London. I believe it was in the February month. They were going to an embassy to do a bit of demonstration there. And she said, "Oh, are you coming?" And I said, "Well, I would like to come, but I actually live in South Yorkshire, I live in Sheffield. So it wouldn't be that easy for me to get to London because the transportations and that wasn't working at the time." And she said to me, "What do you mean you live in South Yorkshire? I'm going to come and pick you up." And I said, "Do you know where South Yorkshire is?" She said to me, "Yeah, I know where South Yorkshire is. That's not too far. If, you know, you've got something to do, you just have to get on and do it." And I was quite shocked, and it kind of just really surprised me, you know, that that was her reaction. But the good news is that the event on that particular weekend had been cancelled because I couldn't see how she would drive all the way from London. You know, it's like 5 hours to get here, to pick me up and then drive me to London and then possibly get me back to where she picked me up from. So I was happy that she didn't have to make that journey. But in my estimation, I feel that Sasha is truly a giant, and I can't see that a bullet would stop her. So I'm sure that, you know, she will recover. I think that she's a bit more than what we see on the surface. She's, you know, just extraordinary. So whoever's responsible for what has happened to her, I'm sure that they will come to full justice. And I say the only how, one, that Sasha will not recover is if I am not an African. So I'm 100% confident in my words. And the only how the perpetrator shall escape again is if I am not an African. So I am 100% sure that justice will be delivered, and I'm confident that Sasha will be reformed to her former glory. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Do you know what? As I sit in my house and you can hear my children all like around me, it's made me feel like at this moment I want to take a moment. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna take this moment and I'm gonna ask us to pray for Sasha's children. I just think, I know how many times I've called, and Jenny, you know, and the boys are in their room and her son's just playing and doing something. And I just feel like I want to take that moment to, I don't know if it's Auntie Gina or Uncle Clive, like I just feel like let's channel some prayers to the family, to the boy.
Agree.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to let my elders lead this and then I'll come in. So any of the elders that want to lead it, or if you feel like I should lead it, I would. But...
Okay. So I was looking for some footage actually. So I've just come off of screen. Yes. Pray and send out strength to Sasha's family, to her boys, that they know, let them know that their mum is coming back to them, and let them know they're going to have their mum back how she was before. At the moment, she's resting because she needs to rest. And Sister Kasheni said that, you know, she's gone to get some more information to continue her journey, the journey that as a leader as that she is. And as I said, I pray that her boys have the strength to, and the family, to keep their arms around them and just keep them and hold them and secure them and let them know that, you know, not only the family is there for them, but the community is there for them as well. That's it, Clyde.
We give thanks to the ancestors, to the creative spirit, to our elder brothers and sisters from the spiritual plane for sending us Sasha, the type of energy she carries, the type of work she does, the selflessness of her working, you know, without regards to race and class, because she touches everybody. She's, you know, she has some strong magnetism. And we just give thanks for such a soul as a messenger to us. She speaks to us in many ways. Many of us who have not met her, we just give thanks. And we ask for her full recovery. Yes, such a soul like that, the spirit world would be so happy to have her, but we're making petition. So it's a war between us and them, but it's not a war. We're saying it was so beautiful. It's like wheel and come again. More of Sasha. We give thanks for her spirit. We give thanks knowing that yes, she's gonna make it through. Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh. I mean, I've got a bit of footage of Sasha. I don't know if you want to play a little bit now. It's when she, when she called the other brother a coon.
Yeah.
His sister Shez sent me that. But as I said, can you see? Okay, it's come straight through.
Did you see? So if I can show you a video now of
That's a legal hold, by the way.
I'll show you.
Listen, you just need to shut up, man. You're a coon. You just need to shut up.
Get angry some more and threaten me some more.
Get angry and threaten you some more. Yeah. I promise you, I don't threaten you. I promise you.
Promise. Okay.
So come out there. Let's live through the promise. Come out there. Let's live through the promise.
Come on.
Come out there and we'll live through the promise. I promise you now.
Come on.
Come out there and we live it through.
Okay, dude.
You're a coon. Dude, what? What do you mean? Because I'm a girl, you think I'm gonna fuck you up?
Come on, man.
Because I'm a girl.
We're here to
You're here to drive this side out to make it look like all black people are ignorant. Yeah, I'm angry right now because of what's going on. It's made me angry, yes. Just like when he was angry when he thought that his town was being destructed, his city statues were going out. I'm angry too.
Of course you're angry.
Yeah, so why are you calling me dude? What does the dude mean?
And you also
what does the dude mean?
You don't believe stats and facts.
What does the dude? What does the dude? What does the dude mean?
It's recorded.
What was the dude mean? What does the dude mean?
You know, I'll be honest.
How am I? We're what you're what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
We're what you are. What we're dealing with.
Overly emotional, angry, quick to violence.
Are you calling a black woman angry? You're a coon. You don't need to be in this conversation. You don't need to be in this conversation.
You should be able.
How can I racially abuse this man? Can someone give this brother some knowledge? How can I racially abuse him? How can I?
And black men being killed.
Do I believe?
Yellow. And this is what's beautiful about Sasha, because what's beautiful about her, I remember that video going out and a lot of people had something to say. And this is the biggest challenge we have in our community. Not all skin folks are kin folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are different ways people can say things. The way Sasha speaks, so maybe I don't speak that way, but we agree on things. We agree on the fact that not everything that quacks like a duck, sounds like a duck, is a duck. And that's the most dangerous part of where we live in right now. This fake wokeness, this, oh, I know what I'm saying, this, oh, I want to show that I'm spiritual. While some of the people that we have in our community are the cancerous stem that needs to be uprooted. And what's happened over the years is that we normally allow people behave in certain kind of ways and we make excuses for them. But what's now, the younger generation are getting to that point that bad behavior is just bad behavior. And you don't come out and start calling a black woman angry at any point.
What happened?
Can I just that was actually my first day of filming. So
that's beautiful, isn't it?
I filmed that wasn't my film, that he had his own cameraman there. But what my film will show is everything in context. It was very frustrating. That guy was there to agitate her. He was a Tommy Robinson fan. Immediately Sasha says, "Oh, put out the footage." I said, no. Let them put out their footage, and when the time's right, we'll show the truth. And the truth is coming. It was very frustrating. It was a very frustrating day of filming.
And I think that's the saddest thing, sis. You're so right. Like, another thing with Sasha, sometimes because of the attack she gets, she wants to be vindicated. And what's beautiful is that the people that know and love her do not need any proof. We stand by her. How many times, Jenny, you know, how many times, no matter what, she was like, "Marvina, you know, I'm like, sis, you don't need to explain it to me. I've got you." Whether the world might choose not to get it, yes, I will scold you in private. Yes, I will tell you about yourself. But yes, she takes it and she moves. And yes, she had some parasites around her. And Jenny, you know what I mean.
Oh boy, did she have some, yeah.
And that's the thing. For the young people, she stood beyond all those things. And when you are in activism, you attract all sorts of work of people. And you need to just be strong. But I'm going to pass this back to my elders now because they've been blessings. And as you can hear, the children are living their best life because it's date night and they're playing Uno in the corner. And I just want to just, it's date night. We're all dating, you're hearing them. And I am grateful. And we all should be grateful. And we should channel. I would like to just do this prayer before Genesis come. Can you come, please? Yeah. So I'm going to use my son as, yeah, you're the perfect child. Come on. Come on. Okay, come over my. I'm about to pray, and I just need you. This is Genesis, and I'm just gonna hold Genesis, and I want all of us to kind of manifest who's Sasha's sons right now, and I'm gonna ask everybody to just be still for a second, please. Ancestors, angels, I ask for you to come and use this boy as an intersection. I ask that the peace, resilience, comfort, healing, mental well-being, and love challenges. I ask that you constantly use us as a portal of showering those children with the amount of love that they need to know that their mother has radiated to us. They shall not lack for anything. They shall find peace and joy in everything they do. They should constantly go from glory to glory, strength to strength. No evil eye will be able to locate them. Their caregivers will have enough resilience to be able to provide and protect them. I ask for strength to nurture them as they grow. When they go to school, that no negative impact will be felt. They will not feel lost. They will know their mother is resting, and when she's back, she will give them the unconditional love. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Amen.
Ashe, ashe, asheo.
Asheo.
Asheo. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I should show the other footage. Got Sister Shez sent me when I wanted to show the trying to look for footage from when she was actually see her protesting. You know, at her most powerful moment, with she's got the megaphone in her hand, but I can't seem to come across that. But I do have the footage when they did, when she and got arrested at, was it Parliament Square? I think Carl Grant got arrested afterwards. But they both got released when they got to Brixton Prison. They didn't, Brixton police station, they wouldn't, the charge officer wouldn't admit them. So basically they got released. So I don't know if I should to play that. I'm looking. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll play a bit of it because it's a little bit long.
Which way are you going? That direction? Okay. Yeah, I think to leave to go home. You hear all that? The numbers are clearly not on our side here. Sorry?
Have to leave the area now. Okay? Otherwise there is a concern. We will take it upstairs. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a good night. Okay. So you thank you. Well, that's what I'm doing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I mean, we're from the social side, we're not the organised either. We are sadly outnumbered.
You're just discussing what we think should happen. Plenty of police have us outnumbered here.
Outnumber is not the problem. You're small but you're mighty as long as you keep solid and you keep together. You're not a lot, but you make the impact that needs to be made.
We were just discussing whether getting arrested from this date is the best way to make an impact. We're thinking today, right now. We think probably. Exactly. We think that probably it's better to serve the forces and come back in greater numbers at a later time.
Well, guys, we've already had this conversation. We do need to move on, okay? We're going to do something like this and go home. Some directors go home.
If you're not moving on and separating and breaking up, start pushing out victims and notices.
It's still no justice.
It seems like it because you guys are saying that we're in bubbles. We're not in bubbles. Everyone's in separate.
Justice for Mohammed! Justice for Mohammed! Justice for Mohammed!
I'm walking. There's no one to deal with me. I'm walking. I'm not stood still.
This is what you get. Keep bullying people and just telling them shit. Are you a grown man? Act like a grown man, bro. Just don't be walking with your suit, with your uniform, thinking you can tell people.
It's a pandemic, mate. That's why you're being.
I'm telling him from the minute he spoke to me. I told him I'm leaving.
And you're still
Why
here?
is he still following? Look, he's still
Because you're still here, sir.
Mate, if you're following me, I can't leave, bro. What's wrong with this guy? Nah, he's trying to like follow me.
Walking away and you're following me for harassment. I've left. Do you know where I live? So stop walking behind me. Stop walking behind me.
You've been warned.
Stop walking behind me. I've been warned. Warned by who? Who are you? Who are you? Under what law? Who are you? Who are you? I'm walking and you're following me. It's harassment now. I beg you video this. I'm walking, you're following. It's called harassment now. If someone's walking away and they're following, what's it called? Harassment. Are we not allowed freedom of speech no more? Is there no freedom of speech? Justice for who? Mohammed! Justice for who? Mohammed! Justice for Mohammed! Always. Freedom of speech is a must and you must not be scared to talk. No. Someone has lost a son, someone has lost a brother, someone has lost, they've lost a family member, and yet still, I'm walking away, the police are following me, telling me to go home, but I'm walking away. No justice! No peace! Come on, lift your voices! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Black power! Always! What kid could tell me? What do you want? Justice! When do you want it? Now! What do you want? Justice! When do you want it? Now! Justice for who? Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Justice when? Now! We want answers. Tell them, release the footage! Where are they now?
This is the split.
You lot can't just disperse based on the fact of a few fed. People don't risk their life for you lot to be cowards. You see, when you come out and you stand with impunity, stand for something. Someone lost a brother, someone lost a cousin, a nephew, a partner, a son. You're allowed to be mourning. Your community should be mourning right now. There's no answers to the questions you have. They need to release the footage. If they do not release the footage, it's a crime. So when they make you believe you're out here committing a crime, they've committed crimes and they're helping to silence you. Never be scared and never be silenced. What, you think they have the resources to put you all in jail tonight and justify it because what? You were hurt and you were traumatized. Be brave. As women, you are very much a part of this stance. Be brave and be strong in it. That's the camera on his shoulder. You don't need to call people, tell people, meet everyone at Trafalgar Square.
They're pulling up, you
One man in America and you shot London down.
Yeah. Hello, madam. Hello, madam. I'm pretty sure
I'm making my way home.
That's okay. Hello, mate. How are you? Well? How's the day going? All right?
What's that to do with you? Is there not ask for 8 rights or 5 family life?
As you can see, I'm making an exercise. Are you joining me? Absolutely. All right. Can I talk to you about that?
I don't need to speak to you about the issue about protesters. Everybody here is an individual, sir. They have a human right to choose where they want to be, and that is their human right. If I'm walking away and you're following me, you're more than happy to walk alongside.
I'll speak to you, okay?
Why is that an interest of yours?
You want to know if you're part of this protest or not? You're not a loudspeaker.
Of course I've got a loudspeaker. Am I not a black woman? Okay. But I'm perfectly allowed to have anything that's a personal belonging of mine with me. Am I not allowed to have personal belongings?
Madam, of course you are.
Okay.
There's a massive gathering going on. You know what the law says? It's going to go against the conversation. Remain silent.
Madam. You can walk and talk to me. I just don't want you to talk the crowd.
Get around it. Get around it.
I'm not refusing. Excuse me, there's too many. I will
to have a conversation with you.
I'm not. Let me put down the phone. Yeah, I will listen to you, sir.
Okay.
I've not done. You've not.
Listen to me.
I've not done anything as yet. I'm walking. Can you get off? Can you get off?
Relax your arm and listen to me. Okay?
I'm not doing anything.
Listen to me.
Can you video this?
You have been warned.
I've not done anything. I've walked away.
To leave the
and
area.
I was walking and leaving the area.
You
Can someone prove? No, I have not. No, I have not. I've not failed to do that.
In an area of with more than 2 people.
No, I'm not.
You are under arrest.
Right, give the officer some space, please. Right, I want. Can we check these guys? See if they've all got
Guys, please move back. There should be social distancing. If you're able to do that. Thank you. Just go ahead, give my colleague and the lady some space. You can stand a bit.
Relax. Sir, just mind the road. Just the road, all right?
No justice! No peace! Because you don't know what peace looks like. Yeah? You're arresting me for what? For what?
Check the space and then later on.
Mate, I can step up. You can get off my arm. Listen, you're making it hurt. Get off my arm then. I can step. Step over me. Like you've got a problem with fucking
Ma'am, just please step onto the carrier.
Look how many of you it took. Look how many of you cowards.
Gentlemen, if I could see your press passes, could I just see it, please? Could I just have a look at it?
Are there any more protesters or are they all moved on? I think the others.
I'll pause it there. You can catch that footage up on the, was it YouTube, Sister Shez?
Yes, it is. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay. So you can see the powerful dance of our warrior queen there. You know, fearless, regardless, fearless. Sister Patricia, I see you.
Yeah, brave, courageous, standing firm. No cowardice there. Yeah.
A true queen warrior.
Absolutely, a role model for many of us.
So I think what that video doesn't show you is that that night Sasha got arrested. What it doesn't show you is that I had that girl, man. That girl is so phenomenal, and I think I really want people to understand when we go out, we don't go out for ourselves. We go out because we feel like the families need justice. We feel like if we don't scream out for the people that their lives are taken, we feel like no one. Protesting is almost like her public service announcement. It's to let the world know that we're mourning, we're in pain. And sometimes when we go out, we feel the pain and we're scared. And it's something that scares us and all the time. But one thing I will tell you is that we never let them see the fear, even when we are feeling like we are falling apart. And I remember that day, I managed to get more than 250 people to keep calling the police station that they didn't book her on the day. They did not book her on the day. They couldn't even arrest. They took her, but they had to let her go. And Jenny would tell you that day was mad because all of us was looking for Sasha. Where is Sasha? Where is Sasha? Because they didn't want us to know. So we kept calling all the police stations. So as much as we can play, that's who Sasha is. She will constantly go beyond the call of duty. There were so many people that agreed that they were going to turn up and protest that day. They didn't. And Sasha went with only a few people. And when I say a few, a handful
that happened before at the other police station when we was in, I think it was Elephant and Castle, after the reparations march.
There's so many people who are saying that they're there for her on that day.
No one turned up. Only her core friends around her were there, and we expected loads of people to be protesting.
They didn't turn up. So that became a normal thing. So when we played that video, the reason that I know it cuts off, because I remember she called and said, Marvina, they didn't turn up. And that's why the police was able to pick me up. And Jenny, you know why the pain is there right now. Because you know that night we didn't sleep. Because we all were looking and making sure she go home safe. But anyway, I'm sorry that I'm like this right now. It's just one of those things.
Marvina, it's understandable. You're human.
Yeah, don't apologize. Don't apologize.
Marvina.
This is sorry, Galactic. This is the usual in our community. When we expect us to, you know, to galvanize and to come out and, you know, to actually show people that, yeah, we are unified in whatever is happening at that particular time. We don't see the numbers, and it's always about the numbers. And I always say this, it's numbers, numbers, numbers. So I understand your frustration. I can feel your frustration. So please do not apologize.
I think we need to not be talking community all the time. When it's time to be community, we don't turn up. The young people need our elders to turn up. Sometimes we're literally looking for family. We're literally looking to take anything. We want the baton pass, but we're not confident. We're there. We put on all these brave faces. Yes, everyone just saying she's strong, but you don't know. We had to be strong. We had to be. We looked left and right and we couldn't find anyone. Sometimes it felt so isolated. And yes, now we found home. And I want my sister to see the home that we have now. But it has been a lonely journey. And as much as we were talking, Jenny, you know, it has been a hard journey. So as we celebrate her, we also ask to heal all the trauma, all the pain, all the neglect, all the rejection. As the world is celebrating her and putting her on a pedestal, let's remember when she was riding and doing all the work, there was no one that wanted to put her on the platform. Only few people chose to put her on the platform, including here. But a lot of people, and Jenny as my witness, you know how hard it was. So I'm sorry, I'm normally in composure, but I just need people to be able to realize that your words hurt. Your actions hurt. We act like we are indestructible because we want to be strong and we know no one is going to come and save us. But like, honestly, a little bit of kindness would take us a long way. Mostly as young Black women trying to fight for something that we believe in. A little bit of kindness takes us a long way. And I wish she got that much kindness in reality right now. I wish she got a much appreciation when she is awake. And I pray that when she wakes up, you give her that, and you give her all that attention she deserves. She is Sasha Johnson, and I thank you for tonight. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, because she's telling me that I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that we've got to this point where, with that video, I just know the pain that she was going through that day. And it hurts too. It hurts. But thank you so much. Auntie Jean, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna love you. And I don't want to destroy the show. The show.
Stop apologizing.
No,
Stop
Marvina.
apologizing.
Marvina, can I ask a question?
Yes, Auntie.
Was that to do with that Somalian boy that was put in prison or was beaten up and then he died after they let him go?
Yes, that was this year.
Yes, I heard about it and it's just gone away. I didn't realize Sasha was fighting for him. I didn't know anyone was fighting for him.
We were all fighting
so
for him.
Courageous of her. And we haven't heard any more about it recently.
We've been working on it, Auntie. We've been working on it in the background. That's the thing about the work we do. It's not for anyone. We just do it anyway. So like Uncle Lee Jasper is working on it. I'm working on it. Loads of people in Cardiff. We're speaking to the family. And that's the thing. We do it anyway. But unfortunately, that was during the COVID guidelines. And like, that was during the lockdown, the January lockdown, December/January lockdown. So the police were just moving mad. And all of us, we had to find strategic way to protest to make sure people was not making it on the news. And unfortunately, we thought people were going to turn up to cities, to London. I live in Leeds. So I would have turned up to London, but people didn't turn up.
Right. I heard about it. A lot of us don't even know what all these things are going on unless you're in the movement. You're not even aware of it. And like you say, we have a lot to say, but we do very little. We're good at the talking, but the action, we are very, very poor. I think a lot of us are, we're not as strong as Sasha was. So we're strong with our mouth, but that's where we start and stop. She was extremely courageous. It's really sad what happened to her, but hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm just listening to you. It just gives me a lot of pain. And, I just hope it all comes good at the end. That's all I'd like to say. And you lot, you're just there for us, and we've got to be really thankful. And that's what I want to say. And we don't even realize, we don't know of, what you all give up to help to make changes. That's what I'd like to say. It's just painful listening. You just wish you could just put things right, and we don't all have to go through this situation. Okay.
Thank you, Auntie. I really appreciate it. I think when you do good, they say what you do with your left hand, your right hand shouldn't know. So when we do stuff, we don't talk about it. We don't do it, and we don't take pictures. When you're feeding the homeless, you don't take a picture to prove that you're feeding the homeless. So it was something that me and her and a lot of us around us used to do, because it was just second nature for us to do it, because we couldn't watch and see any of our brothers or sisters ever being anything in need. And Sasha took it with all her strides. And there were people that she just kept giving to on a constant basis. And be honest to you, the reason I actually used to, I'm going to be honest, it's the first time I'm saying it, like, I used to hang out and listen to Sasha and watch her do it, because it made me feel good to know that I'm not alone in the space, because people would look at us like we're stupid. We came across as like you're stupid young girls just doing all this for people that will not appreciate you. Jenny, even going around filming Sasha, you know how people just looked at us, like looked at her like, you must be that gullible. Jenny, are you still there? I don't know if Jenny is still there. But
yeah,
like,
she's still there. I think she's be unmuting.
It's Auntie, I just appreciate what you said. That's all I want to say, that the pain is real. Auntie Chairs, Auntie Jane knows that sometimes we want a day off, but we can't have a day off. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes we just want to chill, and we don't. And that's what's painful about this. My sister was just having a day off. Like, do you understand what I mean? She was having a day off. She was having a day off. I know people would say, why did she go? She was having a day off. She was entitled to it. She was entitled to it. It don't matter where she was. We need to be able to have a break, and we need to not judge the person having a break. It was a day off. It was a day off of being Sasha Johnson, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think we need to start teaching ourselves to build our self-care and build our mental resilience. And my enemy is not going to have a mental breakdown. None of Sasha's friends are going to have a mental breakdown. None of us are going to be weak throughout this journey. I also pray for all of Sasha's friends and family, because all of us, I think we're just sitting there and we can't believe this is happening. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still waiting for everybody to tell me this is a joke. Even though I've hosted this today, I'm still waiting for someone to come and say, aha, this is funny, like, because not Sasha. But thank you so much, Auntie. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm being emotional in the space, so I'm gonna
apologizing for one.
Auntie, I'm not used to being weak.
There's nothing to apologize for.
I'm not used to even crying on a platform of being weak, because I feel like we're not even allowed to be weak. I'm not gonna lie. So I feel guilty for taking up space with my emotions. And I can imagine that's how a lot of us feel like. And I'm not speaking for my sister because she can have her own voice, but we're not used to. And I know men might think we're emotional, but we as women in activism, we're not allowed to be like this.
Marvina, what I'd like to say, you are emotional, but we are numb. We are numb. We're so numb, we can't believe it. We're numb. It's so numb. It's so numbing to think, you know, anyone can do that to another human being for no reason. So we are numb. You're emotional, but we are numb. And you knew her, we didn't. So, you know, we can just imagine what you're going through. Yeah, so don't feel no way.
Thank you, Marlene.
Daniel's question. Thank you. I'm gonna ask my elders' permission so I can leave. I'm okay.
1 second, Daniel's got a question. We're wrapping up now anyway.
Yeah.
But Daniel.
Good evening, greetings, peace and blessings to everyone and all. Beloved sister, feel no way about shedding tears. You're a human being, and because we shed tears doesn't mean we're weak. Shedding tears actually shows strength. So feel no way, beloved. All of our hearts feel it for our sister Sasha, and we pray, us in Ubuntu and everywhere else, that she comes through safe and sound. So feel no way, beloved. Let the tears come out of you, because it is a strength. It doesn't mean you're weak or any of those kind of things. And I want to just send that to you and to everybody. Peace and one love.
Thank you, Uncle Dan. Thank you, Uncle
Dan. Sister Kasheni.
Yes, I just want to say I saw a note in the chat from Sister Ya that she wanted to dedicate a poem by Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Woman. And Sister Marlene mentioned this, the numbness that we are feeling. That's a negative energy charge that actually sits in our body. And what Marvina was talking about, the lack of interest or the lack of participation by ourselves, is that we numb out and we come to a point of indifference. And I tell you, where it sits, it doesn't sit in the conscious, it doesn't sit in the subconscious, it actually sits in the body. And if that energy is sitting in the body, it is in our cells. And if it's our cells, it's generational. So that is something that we can now make a shift of moving from feeling numb to being creative. That's the positive energy charge that we now need to carry, is on the body for Sasha. We cannot afford to numb out. We have to be creative. We cannot feel numb. We have to be creative. So Maya Angelou was a wordsmith, a creator with word sound. And it's been dedicated by Sister Ya to Sasha today. Let us listen to that creativity. I've sent it to you, Jean, by email, and also to you, Marvina. I'm not sure, I don't know if it's the best version, but it's not long, it's just a couple of minutes. And it's Maya Angelou, whose birthday I think is around this time, or there's something around about her at the moment. She's very present on the platforms. So I'm not sure if it's her birthday or so. But there we have an elder that is expressing creativity. And that's what we have to express. For Sasha to have the creativity of that brain, that brain is full and works in the best possible way that it can. No damage. I know about the brain, I've had damage. I know that. So that's not where Sasha is going. By the light and the healing hands that we bring to her, her brain is whole and complete and works, and that she can see. We as a community, we cannot be in an indifferent energy to numb out. Clear it, drink water and say, my numbing out is gone. You declare now that you release numb and you become creative. I release numb. I release the feeling of numb, and I am being creative. That's a healing that we have to do for her healing to happen. Now, if you don't want to take it seriously, you don't want to, that's for your business. But the reason when we gather, remember, we marked the mystery today. And when the word sound comes down, Sister Marlene said it, Sister Ya has brought a creative one, ultimate voice, so that Sasha can speak, so that Sasha can see, so that her brain can do what it has to do, and that her body responds to what her brain tells it to do. You see how she was walking? She's going to walk again with no Babylon putting their hands on her. She's going to be holding that, thing in her hand that amplifies her voice.
Megaphone.
Megaphone. To amplify her voice, we have to amplify our inner voice now, in this present time, and tell that numbness, we don't need your numbness anymore. Say it now and take being creative. And if you're a creative one, then let that express itself in your song, in your writing, in your painting, in your rapping, in whatever you're creative in, your cooking, in how you clean your house. Let the children be creative about it and be expressing your creativity, because that is what we're bringing for the healing of Sasha. I don't know if we're able to find that poem yet.
Yes, I can play it.
Thanks.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. All you women and me.
Yeah. The power of Maya Angelou, the power of Olive Morris. Yeah. That's our youth sister. That's our baby girl. We're not numb about her. Oh no. Oh no, no, star. She's our star to shine. Cover her in that light. See the healing on her. Asheo.
Asheo.
Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Yeah, thank you. Marvina, have you got any last words or to say thank you for being you? No apology. No apology whatsoever.
I just wanted to share this picture. As you can see, that's all I want to remember. She was just making me laugh because the police were coming and she was like, look at this Babylon. Look at these pigs, they need a sign. And I'm just cracking up because the world's not used to me and Sasha together. It's like when we come on street and we're protesting, I don't know what it is. It's just pure magic. It's I can't even cry looking at her. Like I can't because she's hilarious. I'm sitting there and thinking there's another one. It's like I've just got so many like beautiful pictures of her, and this is like one of my favorite ones. And this just sums up everything when it comes to me and Sasha in my mind. I'm a cheerleader, man. I don't care what it is. I just want to. We climbed that. This is in front of Buckingham Palace. We climbed the lion or something. I don't know what we climbed, but it wasn't easy to climb it. And we just stood there. Because I remember I was thinking my poor knees, I'm not ready. But I climbed and I remember just putting my hand out and saying, come up, sis. Fighting for our community brings us joy. And when we fight, we're fighting for our children, really. And I'm going to leave you with this last picture because it literally is everything to me. When I think of Sasha, that Black power. But when I think about her, I don't see all this facade you all see. I see the mother. I see the friend. It says united and stood firmly in solidarity for Nigeria. That's my sister, man. She's awesome. That's my sister. She's so beautiful. And when I look at her face, I can't cry because guess what? I just know what she's doing, innit? She needs a break. Like, so she's speaking to the elders, yeah? She's speaking to the ancestors and she's getting all the wisdom to come back and tell me, Marvina, guess what? I'm like, yes, what? Like, I got an idea, you know? got an idea, like, it's gonna be a big one. And I'm like, okay. It's like, so we're gonna do this. And I'm like, okay. What everyone needs is a cheerleader sometimes. And I'm gonna be her cheerleader for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be the big bad sister that annoys the hell out of her. I'm gonna be that one that always tells her off, and I love it. I'm gonna be the one that when her son's getting married, both of us will be like, bro, look at little man, like, I'll be like, yeah, you turn out good, isn't it? I'm gonna be the one that when we're old, we ain't gonna need no walking stick because we marched enough. Our knees are gonna be good. We're gonna be jamming, and we're gonna be looking at some beautiful specimens that God has blessed us as our life partners. But we're soulmates, and we're gonna stay that way. I say all this because I know my sister's gonna be okay. I cry because I'm emotional because I miss her. Don't get that twisted. I have so much faith that I'm gonna get to chill with her normally. But it hurts to know that our community sometimes breaks us down as women, as Black women fighting for our rights, fighting for your rights. Black men stand up, be accounted. And Black men have been beautiful to us recently, and I hope they stay that way. Young Black men, I know your future is not about crime and gangs or anything like that. This is not a Black on Black thing. This is just an unfortunate circumstance that happened. That just means that we need to heal our community within, and we are going to do that. To all our elders, we love you. To all our elders, we love you. To all our elders, we love and appreciate you. Thank you for going before us. We stand on your shoulders and we want to do you proud. I promise you, we want to do you proud all the time. We're learning from you. But can I say, we'll love you to see us sometimes. I know sometimes our behavior is a little bit erratic and hyper all the time, but I promise you, we're learning from you all the time. We're always looking up to you because we know that you fought before we came along. And I promise you, Sasha knew that. He says that all the time, and we talk the same way. We stand because you stood before us. We speak because you spoke before us. We rise because you rose before us. You taught us about our spirituality, and we know about the African culture now. So when we say auntie and uncle, and we say mom, we say it because we see our family in you. It takes a village to raise a child. And Garvey village is raising me and raising Sasha in such a beautiful way. We're a reflection of all the elders that has brought us here. So thank you for paying tribute, because guess what? She's gonna come back and tell you thank you too. We love you, we appreciate you. And yes, it's okay to cry, but it's gonna be great to celebrate when she comes out with some drums and a carnival just for her. And we're gonna walk out. Ashe, Ashe, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you in London. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, we're gonna be in the vigil. And I'm gonna be protesting because the Babylons want me to be scared. Guess what I'm gonna do?
You be out there.
I'm gonna walk like Sasha. I'm gonna shout like Sasha. I'm gonna stand like Sasha. And I'm gonna say Black power all day, every day. And they're not gonna do nothing because my sister's there and she's standing next to me. So when I speak like Sasha. But I speak like Marvina because Marvina's got her voice, but Sasha speaks through me. So thank you so much. I'm gonna leave now, but I love all of you. And thank you for showing me love tonight. And thanks to all the friends of Sasha that came. Next month, I want more. I want us to celebrate young people doing great things. So if you know any young person who speaks like Sasha, walks like Sasha, stands like Sasha, I want to hear about them. I want to celebrate them. And I want you to nominate some young people. Guess what? I'm going to use all the platforms I have. I think I've got maybe about 30,000 followers in all my platforms. If you nominate some amazing young people to the Garvey village that you think are doing extraordinary things, whether that's business, whether that's community work, I promise you that my job this month will be to platform them in every platform so they get known for what they do. But I want to also invite them to come and speak here, because this is how we galvanize our African youth, not Black youth, African youth. Because this is what Garvey Village is about. Please donate to the Garvey Village. Please ensure that we have more time to do this. This work is not for free, or I beg you, may not act like that. We need you to support the Garvey Village and turn up. Much love.
Black power.
Wake
Black
up,
power.
Sasha!
Love you too, Marvina.
Love you too. Love you too.
Black power.
Black power.
Sister Anyana. Are we
So,
close?
Sister Kasheni, last words.
Sorry, I missed some of the earlier bits, you know, and what time is it tomorrow and where?
What, the march?
It's a march, okay.
The march is at, I think you start at, is it Hyde Park? Are they meeting at Hyde Park? I don't know the
That's what, are you talking about the vigil, Sister Kashenua?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know, I just remember that there was a march.
Yeah, there's one tomorrow, it's at 1 till 2 by the hospital.
And then the vigil, is it like what we did on Monday?
Yes, that's from 5 o'clock.
Okay, so that's 5 in the evening tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the march.
There's a march up around Parliament Square, where you meet at the park.
Okay.
I'm not too sure which park it is. I'll look it up and send you the details.
So what's the march about? Sorry, I'm being a bit silly and dumb, but is it Black People March or is it?
No, that's the worldwide march. That's against the pandemic.
No.
Not that one.
No. Just stop. I'm trying to stop you. Right. So that's the one that's what Sister Marvina's talking about is the Kill the Bill tomorrow. Okay.
Which bill?
Kill the bill. I'm not going to go into it now.
Okay.
I'll send you
I'll look it up. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll send you the details. But there is 2 vigils tomorrow. So there's one at 1 o'clock. Yeah. 1 till 2. And there's another vigil at 5. Yeah.
Oh, same place.
Same
place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning to be there at 5 with the drummers with Clive, and then we should be there with the drummers after they Kill the Bill march.
Okay.
We're gonna be going to the visual. It's an everyday. I think they're looking at every day. I don't always gonna make it every day, but we're going tomorrow, so we'll be there tomorrow afternoon at 5 or somewhere around that time, and we'll be continuing the ceremonial mode in connection to our sister.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
That will be on the march for Kill the Bill march.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Auntie Jean, do you want to start saying good night now?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I think somebody else is trying to say.
You want to all right. The mango tree, under the mango tree tomorrow.
No, it's not. It's on the 5th of June.
Is it the 5th? It's not tomorrow.
No, apparently not. So it's the third Saturday. So I've put the amendment in the chat that it's on the 5th of June that it's going to take place. So that'll be next week, yeah?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Also, we've got the African Culture Market on Sunday from 7 till 11. Galactic Clyde, do you want to have a quick thing on touch on that? Because we touched on the actual statue that Sister Kasheni mentioned that went up in Zimbabwe.
Someone is asking which hospital she's in for the vigil.
King's College.
Okay.
And the wake is at 5 o'clock at Ruskins Park by the bandstand.
Not awake. What wake?
The visual, Auntie
Jean. The vigil, not awake. And
sorry, the visual.
The King's College Denmark Hill entrance. Yeah, because there's 2 bits. So it's Denmark Hill, and the park is just further up the bit from the hospital.
Yes, Sunday. So they're talking about Sunday. We have a lineup of speakers from the continent. We have our sister from Zimbabwe will be talking to us about the raising of the statue for Mbua Nyihanda, and and her significance of Imbu Nyanda. She's gonna be talking about the significance of her. Then we also have two brothers, and this sister is from Zimbabwe. Would be speaking. Then we have two brothers from South Africa, Azania, would be speaking on the African cosmology, and I think we're gonna get some level of herbology in connection because they're both in that area in terms of herbology and cosmology and language as well. So we got a very powerful lineup on Sunday, and you know Sunday we push the envelope on Sunday. So we hope you all can make it, and it's gonna be amazing as always. Yeah. So looking forward to see you all.
Thank you, Galactic. Auntie Jean.
Thank you.
Auntie Jean.